Gotta go. Girl talk.
Boom! Hard in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gotham City tonight. We've got a full panel with us this week. I am
Full house.
full house, like in San Francisco. Full
I was
house.
just there.
You were just there. Yeah, I'm Doell. I'm one of the hosts here. And returning this week, Alice.
Hi, I'm back.
Welcome back. How's everything going?
Good. Japan trip happened. Just did a convention. It's been busy.
Yeah, because you did a whole, like, you went from doing 1 day of convention to 3 days convention.
Yeah. 3-day convention. My body does not feel the way it used to. I used to be able to do them like weekends back to back. I finished the first day of that convention and I was like, man, I want to go home.
Yeah. Awesome. And then, Alex is here as well. Dude, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. If I'm acting a little strange, it's because I'm starstruck. This is the first time I've been in front of someone who is Star Tours Star Cruiser Elite. Ryan,
you got two people that are.
Yeah, I'm Star Cruiser.
Oh my
Elite
god,
as well.
I gotta leave the stream. I don't know if I can handle that, but congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Congratulations are in order. That's big. That's huge. Well done.
It is. From the looks of the
honor.
Pictures, it's huge. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and you've seen him in the chat. You've seen him on the show before. We got Brandon from BC DeLorean and other movie cars too. I have to add the two, just because Craig keeps doing it, so I feel like I have to as well. Brandon, you're alive. You made it. You were at D23.
I was down at D23 for the weekend. It's where I secured my Star Speeder 3000. It was truthfully, I didn't even secure it. My dad did it. I got in the line the first day, waited 2.5 hours, and then had to leave the line because I would have missed one of my panels. It was a Music of Marvel panel, and I was very excited for some of the composers that were going to be on the stage. So I had to make the call and jump out of the line.
It's truly a Sophie's choice.
It really was. And I was having conversations with my wife about, like, what do we do? Like, we've been in this line for 2.5 hours. We're trying to get the Star Speeder. Maybe they'll all be gone. And we made the choice to go and see the panel, which was incredible. And I believe it was the next day, later in the afternoon, my dad just happened to walk upstairs to where they call it the D23 marketplace, where they were selling all of the new Disney store and Disney parks merchandise, anywhere from like the 70th anniversary merch, which will be happening next year for Disneyland. So they were revealing that early and selling some of that early, to the Star Speeders and some of the new Star Wars product that's coming out. And he just walked up there, waited like 10 minutes in line, walked into the store, happened to see Tony Baxter, the Imagineer who created Star Tours, in the store playing with the Star Speeder.
Oh my god. Did he know? Did he realize?
Oh yeah, he knew exactly. My dad has videos and photos of Tony Baxter playing with the Star Speeder.
Wow.
In fact, I think that's kind of what clinched my dad being like, yeah, I think I need that. And so technically my dad did buy the Star Speeder, but it is coming home to our family and displaying in our garage. Family
heirloom now.
A family heirloom. And then later the con, it was pretty awesome. Tony Baxter was doing a signing, and we happened to get the passes to that signing, got to meet Tony Baxter. He signed the blast shield of our Star Speeder. So that was pretty sweet.
Even more
Brandon,
elite.
Yeah, right? He's like Tony Baxter elite.
Yeah.
Brandon, you didn't know this, but here's what I thought was really funny. You shared the photo of your parents with Tony Baxter.
Yeah.
There's another gentleman there.
Yes.
Jimmy Mulligan.
Yes.
That is the brother to my good friend, Michael Mulligan,
That you
Who-
connected me with?
that I connected you with. Those
Oh,
two are brothers.
We love that artist.
He's-
We see him at all the conventions. He has the best booth.
He's so okay. So here's what's really funny is that I would follow because I knew Mike, but
Yeah.
I didn't know Jimmy was his brother. Like nothing clicked. So I was obviously following Jimmy on Instagram because again his art's just amazing.
Yes.
And then I remember crashing at Mike's place one time, and then I come downstairs, and then there's Jimmy on the couch.
Yeah.
He crashed on. I don't know when he got there. At some point, he got there. That he was like, I was like, wait, what? Jimmy?
Yeah.
Oh my God, same last name. Now I see it. They're brothers.
Yeah. For context, Jimmy Mulligan is this incredible Disney artist. He's like an official Disney artist. I that's just sort of how he brands himself at these conventions, but he sells and does this amazing artwork, and he has the best deal on prints at conventions that if you buy one, I can't remember what the price is. It's like a set price, let's say like 50 or 60 bucks or something for a print or whatever it is. They're really nice, but then every print you buy after that is like 10 bucks. So it's so dangerous because he has everything from, he was there presenting some Indiana Jones artwork on a new Roosevelt's shirt that he was putting out. So he has everything from Indiana Jones art to just your classic Mickey and Minnie on Main Street kind of stuff. And it's just, it's really dangerous for big Disney fans and fans of art in general.
Yeah.
Well, that's
he's
how
an
they
awesome
get
dude.
you.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He knows.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got a photo with him too, but really I was there to meet Tony Baxter.
Right. Should we quickly hello to the chat, and then we'll just dive right into this. All right. Okay. We're going to do this. Everyone nodded. Perfect. All right. We got Johnny Cock is here. Toy Geekosaurus. My dude. Bionic Funk. That's the Professor of Rickets right there, everybody. Zach is here. Go check out his Instagram as well. It is awesome. Cone Killer, Confusor, Steven Lawrence, Derek Dalzell. Hope, gosh, names again. Bacon McShig is here. I need Luis Balstoreros. I need, where's Peter? Peter, come back.
Yeah, we just got a recording and play it each time.
I should just get him to record names.
Good to him, Mr. Killiker.
You're right. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Gotham Stalker is here. Dartherian, my favorite dude, Matt Bush. Kevin from Toying Around is here. Tony Johnson, the Ryan Doell fan club. Yep. And Alice is here tonight as well. He's also now dubbed it the Brew Crew for those Alex fans. Maybe we'll have to say something like,
Represent.
we're going to Jowtown for Alice. Like
Jowtown.
We've got Paper Kriegel. Oh, and good morning from
You're
Joe.
in Japan. Well, you
Oh,
guys,
Ohio.
you guys must have passed each other on the way.
Yeah,
stop.
just came back from there.
Right. Well, Ohio, and good morning. I think I said, I hope, gosh, I'm doing such a
You
poor
gotta
job.
practice, Stoll. For
I have been practicing, and I'm getting to the point now where it's like, okay, I got the basics down, and then now it's like, now they want me to do like the thing that I'm using is like, okay, now you're gonna learn how to write stuff, and I'm like, oh no, and so now it's like, now I've got like the notebook out, so I have to like do studying. Like, believe it or not, when you learn something, you have to study too.
Yeah,
it's insane.
You have to write it.
Yeah, I gotta do
Like
some. Yeah,
kanji.
well, it's not even just so much that, but it's just trying to remember like the sentence structure and how you're saying things. It's like,
I see.
you gotta keep it all together. Because I want to go there and at least be able to say something coherent, or at least try to, so I don't look like a total clown.
you should try watching some Japanese
It
films
will
without
help.
subtitles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, that's where I
do own enough anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch all the anime with subs.
That's because I got Sailor Moon, like the Japanese versions of that, all on DVD. I should be watching that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, Cody
Actually,
Taylor.
the better way is to watch it without any subs at all. Is how
Right.
you learn even
Just
faster. Yeah.
Absorb it
Oh,
through
good to know.
context.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely going to try that for sure. Okay, Topher Khan is here. All right. See? Oh, Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah. What's this? Okay, hang on. Toying around, Ryan. Are you not using the reels I sent you? No. No, I have not been using the reels that you sent me. You've sent me like 2 reels. And usually it's like, go check this out when you're in Japan, which are great. They're super great. Okay, D23. Lots of Marvel news. So not a lot of DC talk tonight, other than I think Tom King announced he's going to be writing a Black Canary book with Ryan Sook is going to be doing the artwork for it. Go check out his Instagram.
Oh, cool.
It already, he's like, here's a picture of Black Canary. And I'm like, yep, I'm in. It didn't take much.
Sick. Yeah.
But first,
Sook on Black Canary? That's sick.
It is. Yes. It is. I agree. All right. D23. One of the big things I was most excited about D23 was the Marvel animation panel. Not a ton of news came out, but we got some news. So I think they showed like a quick clip from there's a Wakanda animated series coming out. There's the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I feel like was announced like 3 years ago, and they're finally showing clips of that. Yeah, I'll show a picture.
The artwork looks awesome.
Yeah, that character grid was awesome.
Yeah, looks totally awesome. And this booth right here for X-Men 97, I know Brandon was like, "Look at me, I'm in the office," and I'm just like, "I love you,
Ryan,
but I hate you."
Ryan, that was the first thing I took a picture with when I got into the show, and I sent it to you right away.
Yes, trust me. It was like there was a part of me that was like, I'm so happy. I'm so mad.
How much do you want that painting of the original 5 on the wall there?
They
should sell that. Does someone sell?
That's what I mean. I'm surprised
Disney
has not sold that.
It should be.
Yeah.
Right? But I love the X-Men logo with all the trading cards on the side of it too. This is just a killer booth. Sorry, I just had to show it off because I think it's just awesome. And during that, they announced that they're going to be doing some X-Men costumes. Ones I was not expecting. Yeah, right. So soon. The new X-Men. This is from these are the Frank Quietly designs, the Grant Morrison run. Everyone keeps saying, oh, it's the Grant Morrison X-Men. Let's pay some respects here. Frank Quietly designed these.
Yeah.
Let's give the artist the proper shout out on this.
And no one can depict these costumes like Frank Quietly. Like it's just in his hands, they are perfect.
Right. I agree with that because other artists have tried to take it over and you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know
even
what
at the time, some of the other X books, like and some of the fill-in artists, it's like never looks as good because he just gets every like wrinkle, like the puffiness of the material, like it's just perfect.
And Kitty Beast, perfect.
Yeah, I wonder, like, I kind of don't want Cat Beast in 97. I assume it won't be like they won't go that far into these looks. But I did like Cat Beast again as Frank Quietly rendered him. And my main desire for this would be if they did it as like a time jump kind of thing, or like because we know that there's like time travel involved now. So like
they didn't give us context.
Went to like an alternate future where it's just the new X-Men. It's just this team, these designs, and that's how we're getting the uniforms as like a alternate, like maybe this is in the future kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Right. I was thinking that too, because we did not get context when they said, oh, we're going to see these costumes.
Yeah.
We've seen this before in the old cartoon and even the way 97 goes, because it moves so fast.
Right.
That I could totally see this being a flash forward and not necessarily anything else, maybe. And also because they did that clapback, which I had to put in the thumbnail of what were you expecting? Black leather?
Yeah, right.
So I found it kind of like wild that it was like, really, we're gonna go there. I'm not gonna assume anyone else here has read these, but
you gotta.
But
you just gotta.
Yeah,
it's the greatest.
It is really good. But this is where E for Extinction came from. That whole the episode Remember It. That's what all of this is kind of based off of.
And it's where Cassandra Nova comes from, if you're a fan of the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Correct. Yes, all of that. But Alice, how do you feel about these costumes compared to the ones that you see in 97?
Well, as an outsider who hasn't read this series and who has no emotional attachment and therefore will be extra harsh because I have no frame of reference,
That's fine.
I like how badass they look. I like the vibe. I don't like how thick the X's are. Is this a hot take?
No,
I
it's
know
not,
people
because this was controversial when this happened too.
I like the way they're like puffer, like almost like motorcycle jackets, potentially like varsity jacket style, whatever. That I like the styling of everything, and I even like how thick they are on the hands. I feel like the shape of the X gets lost, especially with like the Beast, where he has a jacket over it. It's barely an X because you can't even see the little triangles on the side. I just wish it was just the tiniest bit thinner so that we could see that silhouette really well. But otherwise, overall, I think it's a really badass looking uniform.
Yeah, I agree with actually all of that. I remember when this first came out, and I was like, nope, because at this point, when this run started with X-Men, this is like when the first X-Men movie came out. Like, I think actually more like between the first movie and the second movie, and probably closer to the second movie release. But it came out between that time. And right now, also at that time, sales across comic books were slumping. So there was no animated series, no nothing. So they just kind of decided they're just going to go off and I feel like be experimental, go a little harder, go a little more mature in a lot of ways.
I felt like they gave Grant Morrison kind of like carte blanche, like do what you would do with an X book. And he was coming over from DC and from the sort of UK invasion, or Scottish invasion into comics. And I think that wisely, like he kind of brought some of the things from the movie that was a big hit and on everyone's mind, like the black leather, like bringing the school component back into things. I remember reading a interview with Frank Quitely at the time where he talked about these uniforms. It's like the black leather from the movie, but it's also like they wanted it to feel more of like a municipal kind of like working gear uniform, because at this point the context of X-Men was they were almost like these sort of like global responders, less so than superheroes or underground freedom fighters. It was like if a mutant is in trouble anywhere in the world, like a team of X-Men is going to come in and help them out. So like they wanted a uniform that like kind of anyone could put on, and it would symbolize X-Men. You'd see that big sort of almost like reflective yellow X and realize, oh, help is on the way if you're a mutant in trouble. So
yeah, they work. Yeah, that's totally, because in this series too, the school expands by a lot.
Yeah,
like it really
they're
starts
like all over the world. Yeah,
they're all over the world, and it actually this is the first time I think ever where the school looks and feels like a school.
Yeah,
and this is your faculty.
So many students.
Yeah.
It's a one awesome. Actually, Alice, I think you if ever there was like an era of X-Men comics that you'd be down with, I feel like it's this era.
Yeah, actually, good shout. I actually think you probably would really like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
because it's the only.
What did you say again?
What's that?
It's called New X-Men. E is for Extinction is like the first storyline, and it's like because it's the first time the X-Men really embrace the kind of like academy school component of the concept.
Okay.
I have all the trades. You can just use them. There's lots there. Brandon, you've been sitting there patiently, quietly listening.
Yeah.
You did watch X-Men 97.
I did. I loved it.
It's so good. How excited are you about going into season 2? They're bringing in new characters. Just to give a quick mention of them. They had Havoc, Polaris, and Warlock will be getting featured in the team as well. For those who don't know, Havoc is Scott Summers' brother. And Polaris is Magneto's daughter, though I don't know if anyone knows that yet. But Brandon, how stoked are you?
Well, I am a very, very casual X-Men fan. It's kind of a blind spot for me. My only into X-Men is any of the movies or the animated series, but I'm very, very excited for season 2 of X-Men 97, just based solely on the quality of that show. The writing was incredible, and it was so like dramatic, but in like, I don't know, it felt very, very serious and taken seriously, that like I was so invested in the story of these animated characters. It was unreal. I couldn't
it's
stop watching episodes.
Yeah.
yeah. I've run through that series I think 3 times. I've watched it now. I still kind of walk out of the room when episode 5 is on. It's still kind of
Yeah, that's
once it
quite
starts and
a shock.
Nightcrawler shows up, it's just like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I just know it's just like, it's so brutal.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Spider-Man, because we were talking about that one too. Spider-Man, that's pretty close to Alice and I, but not this Spider-Man. This one's a little different. Is this one supposed to be the Tom Holland Spider-Man, the early days? Does anyone know for sure?
I believe, because it's the same voice actor who plays Tom Holland Spider-Man in What If.
Oh.
I believe
Okay.
so. So I don't know if that means anything, but I believe it's the same voice actor.
Okay.
It's
I'm not
is
sure
it
if it means anything.
Is he high school or is it like freshman year of college? Like,
I think this is high school. This is supposed to be like early days, but like, again, we'll get to the big splash page, because that to me kind of makes it feel like this might be its own separate thing. And because the dude behind him there, that's Norman Osborn.
right.
You would think when he hears the word Norman Osborn in No Way Home, he would be like, oh, I know a Norman.
Right.
Right. So again, we'll see what this
I
actually.
feel like this will be different because it's like, like Doctor Strange and Iron Man are in the mix, and they have like their classic kind of comic inspired costumes and stuff. So
Yeah. Let's take a look.
this is the shot, man. So I love that Doc Ock. Like, it's perfect.
It is crazy. Like, already some of the costumes. I see 3 of the swingers in there. Slingers.
Yeah, we don't know yet what this interpretation will be. But those
and now saying swingers out loud, I'm like, I think that's something else.
Well, Jon Favreau, he's involved in the Marvel universe. Like,
that's true.
Swingers.
He's a swinger.
Yeah.
That's right.
And in the comics, it's Peter Parker in different costumes, right? That whole web slinger period. So like the one, some of these characters up front and center were actually like alternate costumes that Peter Parker was alternate egos that Peter Parker was trying out.
Except for one, we got the Future Foundation.
Right.
Parker.
But that's Peter Parker as well, right? So my point being, like, these could be like this front row could be alternate costumes that we see and alternate superhero identities that we see Peter Parker wear, as opposed to separate characters, right?
Yeah, I agreed. Alice, you're an amazing artist. I'm just gonna throw that out there. For anyone who doesn't know, the link to her comic is down in the description below. And we're gonna talk at the end of the show. We're gonna talk about that milestone you got too.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this style?
I love it. I like the fact that they've essentially kept it as that old school style, but they've modernized it by like cleaning up the lines, and like I'm sure that the actual animation itself will be modern style. So you get all the benefits of like being in 2024, 2025 and having all this new technology, but all that retro goodness, because honestly, I feel like animation back in those days like looked better. I'm not a big fan of a lot of, maybe because there's a lot more kids shows and less adult shows compared to back then. But I feel like this time period is very nostalgic, and I think people are really enjoying the fact that they're bringing back this kind of higher quality, more detailed, more adult style animation.
Yeah, I agree. And it could, because there's a part of me that's like, this looks like a really well fine-tuned 66 series or 67, whichever. The 60s animated Spider-Man, this kind of feels like that.
It reminds me of Alex Toth. And I'll give like a quick little shout out. Like, if you don't have this book,
hang on.
Highly recommend. I just have this handy. I highly recommend Genius Animated. It's like all of Alex Toth's like animation work. And yeah, you can probably tell pretty quickly like some of the similarities between these Spider-Man designs and his classic
using the blackest shading is always like so nice.
Yeah, and it's that like shadow under the chin, that like that sort of Johnny Quest, like but this book is awesome. Highly recommend. It's a lot of his like model sheets and stuff, but then also like storyboards and like color concept pitches and stuff. It's really cool.
And we'll get back to Alex Toth here in a second too, because there was some Fantastic Four stuff. Brandon, you're about to.
Oh, I just think that book is very cool. That's some cool art.
It was.
I didn't know who that person was, but that's awesome.
I definitely recommend it. It was out of print for like the longest time, and then they finally released it in soft cover, and yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. The colors of all of those characters in that Spider-Man character layout is just like it's so great.
Yeah, it's that classic like Ditko era. Like like just seeing that yellow vest on Peter Parker with the blue jacket. It's just like awesome.
But also
the green of Doc Ock.
Yeah, I was just about to say the Doc Ock neon green.
Yeah,
which in some ways is, in my opinion, the biggest eyesore, but also somehow so incredibly satisfying and like it is the right color, you know?
Yeah,
I love the like, and again, like just seeing that modern characters. Well, I shouldn't say modern characters, but like these characters went around the Ditko area, such as Daredevil. It looks like that's a Venom back there as well.
Yeah, Venom, very strange if that's Venom.
Yeah.
It's the eyes that are just having me go, that's Venom.
Well, he just looks super alien.
I think they also announced that Charlie Cox is voicing Daredevil in this show.
Oh, that's cool. That is super cool. I want to say, just because this is one of my favorite artists, he designed the costume. Mike Wieringo designed the Hornet costume, which is the purple pinkish one on the left there with the wings. That's when Spider-Man was in there. There was a storyline called Identity Crisis. And at that time, he had 4 different titles out. It was like Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Peter Parker Spider-Man. I can't believe I remember that. And Mike Wieringo was the main artist on one of those titles. So each of those 4 titles was following him, Peter Parker being him, in a different one of these new aliases. Because he's trying to be like, well, I can't show up as Spider-Man because everyone hates me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to try on these different outfits, but everyone knew it was Peter Parker like right away.
It's such a Peter Parker thing to happen. Trying to be other superheroes.
Right. And Derek Hoover, little sad Ricochet.
I know. I was just going to say that. Like, Ricochet is one of my favorite looks. I'm a little disappointed he's not represented here.
It was so good. But Hornet was one of my favorite ones. And that's where Peter in the story, I believe, he goes to like Tony Stark and he's like, hey, can you help me build a... So you got to remember, this is like way before like Civil War and all that kind of stuff. So Peter Parker teaming up with Iron Man wasn't as common as it is now, where it seems like that's all people know him as, is like...
Yeah, he's like his surrogate son.
That's his son, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's funny to me that Tony Stark would be like, here's this, and it's like this pink, purple costume with wings. It's
He's out here sabotaging Peter. He's like, God, yes, I made you a suit.
well,
A
see,
super suit.
here's the funny thing about Peter Parker, that era as well, and before that, because the other heroes did kind of punk on Peter a little, like, because he's got such a, like, he's always like cracking jokes, and he'll also do it at other heroes' expenses where he's cracking jokes at him. So if something happens to him, they will all, including Wolverine, they will all find a way to kind of like punk him out. So like even when like Spider-Man was like, oh my God, I don't have a costume. We just got the symbiote ripped off me. Now I'm naked. And Johnny Storm was like, here's one of our costumes in a paper bag.
Yeah.
Go.
It's classic. Yeah.
Right? Like, so they love doing that to him.
Yeah, the Fantastic Four are always like throwing shade at Peter Parker.
But they love him too. Like he's also like
it's
part
like
of the family, and this weird.
He's a little brother.
Although
He's a
early
little
on,
brother.
like in the early comics, like they're like, who is this creep? Like he won't tell us who he really is. They treated Spider-Man like he was like radioactive.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the other things I really love about this image is that it showcases the huge supporting cast. You know, it's called Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And so you get this sense that it's like, oh, it's like the neighborhood is going to be a big part of this show. And I kind of, the other component of this, so it's like Toth and Ditko, but also like I get this kind of Jamie or Jaime Hernandez vibe from this. Is kind of Love and
Mike
Rocket.
Cho as well.
Yeah. So, you know, if they take that sort of tactic of like a more down to earth kind of the daily lives of these characters, I think could be really cool.
Yeah, I think I've said this. Yeah, I've said this so many times on Toe Anxiety, where I'm like, I want more Marvel Legends of the supporting cast of Peter Parker, because I still feel like he has the greatest supporting cast in all of comics.
I know, Harry Osborn.
Right. Well, now they all seem to have powers for whatever reason, but for the longest time, his supporting cast had no powers.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I want
like
Harry
X-Men
Osborn in like a turtleneck with that like curly hair, and an alternate head with the tragic goatee that he tried to grow once. Trying to be cool in college. Right. Awful.
Give me Flash Thompson as well. College Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
Right. Give me all of that. It was like, but that was like the big thing with like, it's different with Batman, because again, his supporting cast all don't have powers, but they all wear masks and they all wear, you know, spandex and swing around the city. So with Peter Parker, all his supporting cast are like friends and family and his aunt, right? Like it's just, and I was thinking too, hang on, the woman in the center behind Peter Parker, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, Mary Jane. And then I was like, wait a second, I think that might be Aunt May.
Oh no. No. Not
There's no way.
Hot Marissa Tomei, Aunt May. What?
Yeah, like zoom in there.
Right?
Well, wait.
You're probably right.
I think you're
Is that
right.
not? I am certain that is.
Yeah, she's a little bit of an older lady, I think. So I think that might be his
Hot
number.
Aunt May. I need like old frail Aunt May.
There's the one that looks like
because
it's about to pass away, like
she
any
needs,
day now.
Yeah, she needs to be like his great aunt, you know, like.
Yeah, that's what I'm making wheat cakes. Oh, Peter, don't do anything crazy. You'll give me a heart attack.
I need an Aunt May who has seen the Great Depression. Like,
yeah. I need an Aunt May that's the same age as Steve Rogers. Like,
yeah, right.
I remember Captain America.
So handsome.
But I'll also take Marissa Tomei in anything. You know, it's all good.
That's true. That's true. I am curious, but I love this Green Goblin suit as well. It's not a Green Goblin suit. It's Norman Osborn. But I mean,
right. But yeah, they're hinting
at
it.
A green suit
built into that.
Right. I'm all for it. I'm surprised they didn't give him a purple shirt, but I'm also glad they didn't. That is pretty cool. That was the big animation news. I don't know, man. I'm excited about the new Spider-Man cartoon. Like,
Yeah, it looks
by a lot.
really fun.
Yeah, it looks good.
Let's get into I know Brandon said he was at the music panel. So I'm just gonna let him talk about it because well, I don't want to play the music that's online because we just got this show going and I don't really want to be copyrighted.
Well, there's tons and tons of other people's coverage of Michael Giacchino released the first score piece. I don't know if it's I'm assuming it's the Fantastic Four theme because they sing the words Fantastic Four in it, but you can find it all over YouTube. So many people have uploaded it. The Music of Marvel D23 panel, if you're looking for it, but essentially it was hosted by Michael Giacchino, the incredible composer of
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles, exactly. Ratatouille, Up, the Batman, or as I call it, the Patman. Just incredible. Lost. Like it's just amazing the work that he's done. So he hosted this panel and brought out a bunch of composers from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I was excited for Michael Giacchino, but also two incredible songwriters and composers, Kristen Anderson Lopez and Bobby Lopez, who did all the music for WandaVision, but also they are the songwriting team behind both the Frozen movies, Remember Me from Coco. Bobby Lopez co-wrote the music for the Book of Mormon musical, Avenue Q. Like they are an incredible songwriting team. And then there were some other composers, but essentially they just sort of came out to just talk about their involvement and their work on past projects in the Marvel universe. They played some clips from old shows. The only sort of new thing that was released to us was this First Steps Fantastic Four theme. And have you guys heard it?
No.
It's awesome.
Is it out there? Can we hear? Is it?
Yeah, so
it is be heard
after the show. Just go on YouTube, look up the Music of Marvel panel, or Michael Giacchino Fantastic Four. There's so many people who have uploaded it to YouTube already. Just the audio from inside the room, but I've listened to it a couple times since this panel, and it's so cool. It's so. I told Ryan that it reminds me of Tomorrowland music. Maybe that was
cool.
maybe that was just because I was just in the park, but it kind of has this like little like synthesizer and there's like this chanting voice, and it's retro sci-fi. Like it was so awesome. So
I hope he only used 4 instruments.
That's it.
And he had the most fantastic of them.
Yeah.
Nice. Brandon, did they show the trailer? Like, I think you took a photo. There was they showed some of the trailer, did they not, at the movie panel?
Yes, at the movie panel. So this panel was a separate, like at the convention, because this year they ran D23 different. There was the show floor, there was panels at the convention center, but all of this, like this picture here, this was they called them the showcases. So every single night, people who had tickets to these separate showcases would actually move from the convention center to the Honda Center, or the Honda Civic Center, as Ryan calls it, which is where the Anaheim Ducks play. So it's this huge, hockey arena filled with 12,000 people, and they put on these incredible shows every night. The Friday night was the entertainment panel, and that's where all of the movies from Marvel, Lucasfilm, Disney Animation, and Pixar, all their future projects were sort of announced and teased, and we got to see some stuff. Saturday was all theme park stuff, and then Sunday was the Disney Legends, where they awarded people like Harrison Ford, Jamie Lee Curtis, Miley Cyrus, Frank Oz, Disney Legend Awards, and so they all were there and they came out on stage. But so the weekend was just like insane. It was such a crazy, cool, special experience, especially for my first D23, to have this whole other showcase because they do these, they've done these announcements at D23 before, but they're just sort of, they're really hard to get into. You have to wait in line essentially all day to get a crappy seat in this small convention theater space. So that's why they did these separate tickets that the tickets that we bought for all 3 days, we got the same seat every single night. So we knew where we were sitting, which was a big stress reliever. But so yeah, all of the announcements. So this is what you're talking about, Ryan, is that this is where they played a little. I sent pictures of it too. It's the 4 cast members sitting around a table.
Oh
yeah. So
and our first look at the
yes,
Human Torch's costume here.
Yes. So this was a little like, hi D23, we're shooting the movie right now. We're out in London, blah blah blah. Wish we could be there. Thank you for being fans, blah blah. This was just the 4 of them talking. And then they played that retro, I've been calling it like a camera test, because it's all that. They played it at Comic-Con, I believe, and it's like Pedro Pascal teaching a class of children, and he blows off the rocket, and then it's like all of them in their space suits. I don't know if you guys have seen any of that footage from Comic-Con.
I've seen like a very grainy video on someone's phone.
So that was so cool. The look. If this is like, I don't think that this is actual movie stuff. This may be like very, very, they may use some of it just to sort of set up the backgrounds and the sort of the time frame at the beginning of the movie, but it looks like real, like this is like educational footage, from the 60s. They're all trying on their spacesuits, and it looks like NASA documentary footage. It's so cool. So it got me the Michael Giacchino score piece, and this vintage stock footage or vintage reel of footage got me so excited for this movie.
Yeah. Now
it reminds me of like Venture Brothers, which I think is like just perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I think it has to, right? Like it's like those old, even the old Disney, like the old Disneyland videos where they would have like, I am a German scientist from Disneyland. This is how molecules work.
Yes.
Right? Like that's what it reminds me of. Just that picture. They did show, I heard that they showed some of the same clips at San Diego Comic-Con. Now I want to ask Alice and Brandon this about San Diego, because Alex and I kind of already talked about it. I know Alice was dying to talk about this. Dr. Doom.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so sad I missed out last week because I had a deadline. I forgot I had to hand in an episode for my comic. And I was like, my editor will kill me if I do not get this done. But I was like, oh my gosh, Robert Downey Jr., what are people thinking? Because I was like, at first I was like, oh my God, it's Robert Downey Jr. But then I was like, oh, it's Robert Downey Jr. Like, do we want him back? Like, he had such a perfect ending, like just iconic, like probably will live down in history. Kind of like, did you remember when Iron Man died? At the end of Endgame, but now he's back. And I think I heard someone say online, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I don't know the lore behind this. Like, in some version of Doctor Doom uses like Tony Stark's body, or I don't know what I read, but someone was like, "Oh no, it makes sense because like there's a connection between the two." And I was like, I don't know, but
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated, I think.
Yeah, I went to the comic shop since then as well. So those trades, I think it's like irredeemable Iron Man. Someone will correct me. I know they will. And that's where Victor Von Doom was parading around as Iron Man. So those did not sell well. And then all of a sudden,
is that he's got like the white armor? Like he's got like a white Iron Man armor. Like I was thinking of like the stuff with like Iron Lad, who's a young Kang the Conqueror.
That's Kang,
who may or may not be Doctor Doom in the future, or Doctor Doom's ancestor, because he's the like it's not the Beyonder, but it's like there's some time traveling character that is like Kang and Doom and like a pharaoh. It's dense.
Do you think
Yeah.
it's a pivot based on having to recast Kang? And
Yeah,
that's why they brought
Oh.
in Robert Downey Jr. to get people like excited about like this is what we've had in the works the whole time.
I wonder if
Yeah.
like they were probably always planning on using Doom in conjunction with the Fantastic Four, but they were probably building up Kang as like the next big Avengers 5 villain.
Oh yeah,
and
and
now
it felt
that's
that
apparent.
way.
Now that seems to be Doom is the Avengers. Like everyone in the MCU is going to go up against Doom, which I think is cool because it's like I always feel like they should lead with the more like top shelf characters, and like
Yeah.
it doesn't get bigger than Doctor Doom. You know, Kang is like nice try.
Yeah.
He ain't no Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He-
I just feel like we
Correct.
live in a time of the multiverse, so literally anything can happen with anyone at any time. Like it doesn't have to be based on anything. They can just tell us that it was a universe where Tony Stark became Doctor Doom instead
This
of
is who
Iron
I'm
Man.
thinking of. Immortus
Yeah.
/ Ramatut.
I think
He's
the-
somehow Doctor Doom as well.
I think my fear, right, is they pull the same thing that they've keep doing with kind of Marvel has had a slew of like when they hit a gold mine, they keep doing it until it dies. And I like the thing is like Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom is very exciting. Like, I will probably go watch that movie. I will probably be excited in the movie. But it quickly runs into the whole, like, at what point do we start? Does it flip from, oh my gosh, it's Robert Downey Jr., beloved Tony Stark. We love him as one of the icons for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to, like, ugh, it's Robert Downey Jr. Like, yeah, he was in the last 10 years of films. We get it, you know? I feel like that's a really fast kind of like flip, because audiences are very finicky, they're very mercurial, and at any point in time you can go from beloved to like old news, you know.
Really
And
fast.
bringing him back for a big villain, I don't think that's just going to be one film. Like, I assume that they're banking on him coming back for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what the longevity of him being in this role is.
Yeah,
I
I'm with
just
you on
hope
that
this-
too. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just hope his performance is less Robert Downey Jr. and more like his Oppenheimer. Like I want to see something different if they are gonna bring him back as this other character.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want like wisecracking smartass, right?
Oh, not for
You
Doom.
want someone more serious. Yeah.
I will say, like, whatever he does, like Robert Downey Jr., the scenes that he's in those Avengers movies are like, to me, like the only time it comes alive. You know, it's like he brings this like star power, this entertainment value. Like he really like galvanizes the material. You know, so like I think whatever he brings to Doom, like it's gonna be interesting. I think it's sort of like gives the movies the pulse that they need to sort of counteract, you know, some of the more like heavy elements, you know. So yeah, I don't know if we'll see like a wisecracking Tony Stark-esque Doom, but like whatever it is, it'll be like unexpected, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Is-
I'm sure
is
people
he-
will go watch the movie, you know?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
we're all going
So-
opening night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
how-
So, like, it did exactly what they wanted it to do, right?
How many other Academy Award winning actors are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Harrison Ford.
Kate
don't-
Blanchett.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Hang on. I'm trying to go through all of them. No. Chris Evans should be. I don't know
But
what
isn't
for, but he just.
But
should
no,
be.
it is a good point. Like he's a, you know, it was like, you know, Robert Downey Jr., Samuel L. Jackson, they're like the Scarlett Johansson, they're the huge like you know, movie stars that anchor those movies, and And it's funny to think that like Robert Downey Jr. is so associated with Tony Stark and Iron Man now, because like I still think of like, his previous work. I still remember a time where I was like, oh, that's cool. Like Robert Downey Jr.'s back and he's like doing a superhero movie, like I don't necessarily like only associate him with that one part, though I can see there's probably a ton of people who do,
Marissa Tomei has an Oscar too, doesn't she?
Yeah, of course.
That's
for
correct.
My
Yes,
Cousin
of course.
Vinny.
Yes.
My Cousin Vinny. We're going to talk a lot about
I've
Marissa
never
Tomei
thought
tonight.
about it.
Yeah.
When are we going to get Joe
I'm-
Pesci in the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
He's
Right?
acting again.
Yeah.
And Michael Douglas
I feel like
Maybe?
maybe
nominated
Maybe,
for
I-
sure.
probably for like
Yeah, it seems like.
Hey,
falling
we're not
down.
talking about nominations. We're talking about cold wins,
Winners.
man. Winners, not losers.
Yeah.
Have you
Matter of
guys
fact,
seen?
win.
Have you guys seen people comparing? I think it's Lord of the Rings universe actors with Marvel Cinematic Universe actors, and the overlap. There's like so much overlap. And like at what point do you, it's like, what are the chances, right? Like, is it just because they were that good that they're overlapped, or is there some kind of like there's like so much overlap?
Yeah.
Viggo Mortensen would have made
I
a
think
good
it is
Magneto
partially.
at one point.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He still could. You kidding?
I feel like he might be like anti superhero movies though.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I would have thought the same thing about Harrison Ford, but here we are.
Here we are. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Do you want to? Should we dive into?
Let's. I can't wait to see him Hulk out.
I saw it.
Cannot wait. Oh my God.
I'm like, which one is it?
I don't think
Brave
I
New
don't think
World, right?
that I don't think any of the footage. I mean, maybe you could probably find it on YouTube, but yeah, I got to they showed it at this panel. They were being
That's super
very,
cool.
very strict about filming. So I imagine
Yeah,
that was
clearly,
through
'cause
all
everyone was
the
streaming it.
arena.
Yeah.
But
They,
yeah, so I
but
didn't film anything. I just took pictures.
You were being respectful of their
I
wishes.
was being respectful, and I'm always
No.
thinking like, well, somebody else is going to leak it and film it. Like I don't.
Yeah. I don't need.
I don't want to be
you don't need
yelled
the-
at.
You don't want
Right.
the clout of being the
Yeah.
person that leaked it.
No, it's
Uh,
not worth having a rando yell at me.
Yeah.
It's true.
But no, this one comes out. This is the next Marvel movie to come out, I do believe.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This is February. Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. Because I don't know, for some reason I keep thinking there's one coming out at Christmas time, but there isn't. Am I wrong? No, I don't. I think this is it.
I don't know
And-
when anything's coming out. Like,
yeah.
Me neither.
When is this coming out?
Now, apparently Fantastic Four and Superman are opening the same weekend as of right now.
That's crazy.
What weekend is that?
I think that's July. Because everyone's
Of
saying,
next
I
year?
think, yeah, like, and I think, which to me doesn't seem right either, because Superman's
July
in post.
25th
July 25th.
for Fantastic
I wonder if that
Four.
means
I think it's smart. I think it's a smart move because we are in a new era of film where people only go to one movie, one big one big event movie in the summer. And this year it was Wolverine and Deadpool. Last year it was Barbie and Oppenheimer. And I think next year it's similarly, if they have Superman and Fantastic Four at the same time, these two new like relaunches of the big two rival comic book companies, everyone
Mhm.
is going to go see those movies.
Yeah.
Like they are not going to compete with each other. Like everyone is going to see both
Yeah.
and compare, and like it'll be a huge moment, and it'll be the rising tide that lifts at least two ships.
at least two ships.
Currently,
right.
Superman is coming out July 11th,
Oh, July 11th.
and Fantastic Four is coming out July 25th. So it's the summer of supers.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Which is fun. I think that's great. However, we're going to be in San Diego Comic-Con next year on July 25th.
We're gonna
Wearing our
try.
old-timey press hats.
We're going to wear our old-timey press hats. I don't think I pitched that to Alice yet. my Gotham City Tonight plans
with like
forward.
the little card in it.
Yeah, the card.
Look,
So
whatever
guys-
gets me through the door, okay? I'll wear
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Mr. Gun,
Yeah.
Mr. Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to have like even try to figure out a way to make them look like old school microphones and
Old timey
You know, have
cameras
notepads.
with
Yes.
the like flash
Mm.
bulbs you got to
Yeah.
replace.
yeah. Poof.
A suit,
Well,
a
I was
suit
gonna-
that's like a little bit too big.
Yeah.
Just right, but I was thinking about dressing nice, but I think this is what I told Alex. I said, you're gonna have to let us in early with a Mondo badge so that if we have to walk anywhere, we're not sweating through it before we even walk through the doors. This way we can kind of go into the convention, then change into something nice, and then walk around comfortably. But that is my plan. All right. Brave New World. We know it's coming. Trailers are out. There was one right before Deadpool.
Valentine's Day. You were right. February 14th.
Oh, see,
One thing I
sometimes-
really appreciate about
Hearts, Red
the
Hulk.
Brave New World is that they cleared up something that has always bothered me, which is that Thunderbolt Ross has a mustache, but then when he becomes Red Hulk, where's the mustache go? Like I was looking for, I would be totally into a Red Hulk with a mustache. But for some reason, the mustache, I don't know if it gets like sucked back into his pores or
Yeah.
if it falls out. I don't know how that works, but they got around it with this movie because they're like, you know, Harrison Ford, he has no mustache. They're like, oh, like he's like, oh, it didn't test well with the voters or whatever, and like, so they don't have to. They can completely skirt that issue. But I want an explanation.
Yeah, we
no,
never
okay,
did get one.
Actually,
You want a shaving scene?
Yeah, maybe, you know, it's
he
like
hulks up and then shaves.
yeah, it's like
Hulk
how he
shave.
loses his shirt but not his pants. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, he
No,
like-
okay, so
Yeah.
the thing is I've always kind of assumed maybe it's just an aesthetic thing in the comics, but like to me in my head, Hulk is hairless, right? Aside from the hair on his head, he seems kind of hairless and shiny.
yeah,
and
I guess.
When he showed up in what's that film where he showed up as Smart Hulk? Bruce Banner was, you know, with the glasses. I was like, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And then I realized it's because he has stubble, and I was like,
Mm.
Hulk doesn't have facial hair. Hulk
Yep.
doesn't even have hair on his like,
Although
body, you know?
Maestro's got a great big bushy beard.
It's
Oh.
wrong. I don't know.
He's the old Hulk, and he's grown out. He has like he's bald, I think, but he's got like a skullet, and he's got a great bushy beard.
Man, just think of the production meetings on like how hairy is our Hulk.
Well, they must.
When
have
are we
did
gonna
it.
get Maestro in one of these movies?
Well, in
That'd be cool.
She-Hulk, he definitely has chest hair. Smart Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk has hair.
Yeah, but that's Smart Hulk. Smart Hulk has hair, which I think is
He's got like
weird.
hairy arms. You know?
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know why they just. I don't think he's had noticeable hair in previous renditions. I have not noticed it at the very
Hulk
least.
hate hair.
He
Ah.
does like in the early Hulks, like when he hulks out, he does kind of lose the hair on the sides of his head. And so again, I was like, does that just mean like because his hair is the same size, it's like taking up less space on his scalp, which has grown huge? Like, or is it that the hair falls out, or does it get sucked back into the pores? How does Hulk hair work?
It's magic, okay? He turns into a giant monster. Like
He
I don't.
becomes like a mixologist hipster when he hulks out.
It's got, yeah, the glasses and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bow tie.
He's making you tiki drinks right now.
He starts doing like axe throwing.
Wearing bowling
I'm
shirts.
mixing my my culture.
You're mixing your hipsters.
Yeah, I'm mixing my hipsters up a bit.
Oh, we got a super chat. Hang on a second. Super chat, $5 super chat from Johnny Cock. Thank you very much, Johnny. So the smoother the dumber. Yes.
Just
Yeah.
like the brain.
Yeah. Just like
Nice, you want nice smooth.
nice. Okay. I'm gonna just keep this party rolling. This is one I was not expecting to see anything about at D23 or just at all. I think maybe because I completely forgot they were making this, because there were so many.
Ironheart.
Yeah, there were so many switch ups happening that I actually thought maybe they already shelved this and they didn't even start. But guess what? They did, and the cast was there. Ironheart is a very, very modern Marvel character. She is very new. Riri Williams, I want to say.
Sounds right.
Right. Another genius. Tony, and she appeared when they killed off Tony Stark in the comics for the 78th time in 5 years. And that's when she appeared and she kind of took over the mantle, and she had that holographic Tony Stark with her and kind of like being her guide and being a mentor. And she was building her own armors and became Ironheart, which was a whole new Iron Man. I am this one to me excites me because I don't know the comics that well. And so I can go into this fresh as a daisy, have zero expectations, and just enjoy it.
Yeah, and is this a movie or a Disney Plus show? Oh, television. I see,
Television.
Yeah, series. Yeah. Produced by Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
Oh, he's not directing?
No, he's producing it.
Right.
Because she's in Wakanda Forever, right?
Yes.
So this is a character we've met.
Yes.
In the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
At some
remember-
point.
I don't remember
Yeah,
her.
I know. It's yes.
I'm Googling off to the side. I'm Googling a picture of the armor. And I don't know what this is. I'm pretty sure the 3D image I'm seeing is probably from the trailer or whatever. I don't know if I like it.
Well,
I think the comics look great.
I like the comic book look.
yeah.
Yeah, she looks like a transformer. You know, with the eyes? Have you seen this image?
No. You can
I
click
don't
right and
know
send it
if
to me
this
if
is
you
real, but it's showing up. It's
Do you want to share your
yeah.
screen?
Let me. Well, I don't know how to. I don't know how to do
you're
that.
gonna hang on. You're gonna little inside baseball here, a little behind the scenes. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see a thing that says screen share.
Okay,
or
but
present.
let me pull up the
Sorry.
image first.
It is called present, and then you can choose
The stream might
Bottom
end
of
any
the
second.
screen. Yeah.
any second. Yeah, the countdown's
Yeah.
on. We're all watching.
Yeah, the intro is gonna come up again.
Halle Berry is breathing down your neck.
Gotta go.
Your
Girl
screen.
talk.
Yeah.
Oh God, I gotta give it permission. This
What,
might
really?
not. Yeah, just Google Ironheart. It literally comes up
Yeah,
as like the
I
second.
googled Ironheart armor D23. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
Is it
seeing
that
this.
one? Okay,
Yes.
okay, yeah. It might be faster if you, because I don't even know how to.
But I totally see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's that
does-
eye shape, which
Oh,
is very Transformer.
It looks like animated Transformers.
Yeah.
Like that new
Like,
animated Transformers
All right,
movie
I
or whatever it is.
gotta see this
Mhm.
thing.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of like other people's thumbnails, which I think is super funny in my image search. This is
Ironheart armor D23.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try
Um,
armor D20. Oh, there we go. You are correct. Hang on, we're gonna go on a little bit of comic book resources.
There was
For
there was
this?
so much that happened in the span of that evening that like a lot of it is it's in my brain, but I can't even remember it. But yes, I do remember seeing this. And
You gotta
going,
have
"Oh,
something trigger it. For
yeah.
You to
Oh,
remember it.
okay.
Oh, it looks cool. It looks kind of
You
like a car.
Do you know
It's
what
like
it
a-
reminds me of?
Yeah, like a
Or-
transformer.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Something.
something I'd see on Digimon.
Yeah.
Like their evolved form.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me
It
of.
reminds me of like the new Honda Civic combined with Eva from Wall-E.
From
Yeah.
Wall-E. Good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Presented at the Honda Civic Center by Disney.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Metroid. This is Zach,
Hmm
Uh-huh.
right?
I
This
like
is-
it okay. Like I like the comic book version that has the like magenta and the kind of gold faceplate. Like is very cool.
Right.
Maybe I'm sure she'll wear tons of different armors in this show over the course
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah. Metabots. Right.
Yeah, I could see.
Yeah, I can
Metabot.
see. This is, yeah. I don't know how I feel about this either. For some reason, the screenshot doesn't look very like. It looks very early CG.
Yeah.
Or it's just like concept art. Like this could be a paint.
No, I
a
think this
digital
is from the
painting.
trailer that I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
Because
this is like a
because
screenshot that
the
someone
faceplate
took.
opens.
Oh.
But you're
Right?
you're right. It could be early in the this CG process.
Yeah. For
Mhm.
anyone who doesn't know, a little inside industry info here. When we make our trailers for a lot of stuff, it's shots that we haven't done, that are not done, or even started sometimes. And then we scramble to get something that is, because there's a thing we have called trailer ready. And there's trailer ready and there's feature ready. And there's two different things. And a lot of people don't know that, but there you go. That's what we do.
And sometimes we do stuff for trailers that isn't even used in the film. We just
Yeah.
end up doing it just for the trailer, and nobody seems to call us out on it because I don't think people notice.
Yeah,
but
how's that not false advertising?
Actually, Disney got slapped on the wrist for that.
Oh yeah, there was something that what was that?
Rogue One.
Yeah.
Mm,
Almost
The
all
shot
the
of-
trailer was shots that that got cut from the movie.
I remember personally being so excited for that shot of Jyn Erso on the balcony, and then the TIE fighter comes up. I was
Yep.
like, oh man.
Well,
And I was
because
like,
they
"Where is it?"
reshot so much of that movie. Like they had to like overhaul like the whole Gareth Edwards version.
Yeah.
Um,
Famously,
oh yeah, sorry.
I was just going to say, famously, Roger Corman, the B movie director, is the one who started doing that. He would put helicopter crashes in the trailers of his movies to bring people in,
Of
and then
course.
just be like, whatever. Like we cut that scene.
This is
Oh, that
yeah,
pic is from
it's
Wakanda
Wakanda
Forever.
Forever. Oh,
Oh, okay. So
Okay.
they
I,
had,
I do not remember that at all.
No.
yeah. Neither do I. Oh my God. Now I'm beginning to think, did I see the movie? Like maybe that's what I'm gonna do after this tonight.
I like that she has kind of like a heart logo on her chest.
Well, her entire thing, she's got the heart
Yeah,
wings,
it's
the
very
heart
heart
face
themed.
shape, the heart. And I know it's Ironheart. It's kind of cute.
Yeah,
but
I
I hope she has
appreciate
the
that.
magical girl
I-
transformation.
I like simplicity in my super. I like to be hit over the head with the concept.
yeah, the
that's-
same concept over and over.
Otherwise, I won't remember who's who, what's
Yeah.
what.
Or their name, right?
Yeah.
Or there, yeah.
Yeah.
How am I
I'm
supposed to know this
Iron,
Care Bear is
Heart.
Tenderheart without a heart on its belly?
Yeah.
Speaking of beating it over the head with imagery, this is one TV series on Disney Plus I'm probably the most excited for out of all of them. Daredevil, Born Again. It sounds like it's, well, from the looks of it, the trailer is again leaked out there. I'm not going to share it. You can go find it. It looks like it's continuing right where season 3 might have even be left off from Netflix. If you have not watched this series, why? It is so good. It is hands down one of the best superhero shows to exist, in my opinion. I think it's beautiful. I think Charlie Cox is great. I think Kingpin's great. Everyone's great. And they're bringing everybody back. Nelson's back. Everyone's back. There's the cast
What's
right
it?
there.
And it's called Dared Evil.
Dared Evil.
Yes.
I'll check
Right.
it out.
I have one complaint about this.
Oh my God, Brandon.
There was not enough She-Hulk in this trailer.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Was there any?
No.
Damn.
What's going on?
Yeah, the main love interest not in the trailer.
gosh, I know he's a bit of a hoe. That's what makes Daredevil so special. But I hope. Well, I think they nodded to his costume in the trailer. They had the yellow.
Again,
yellow mask?
honestly, like it was so overwhelming. And I haven't watched the leak trailer again for this, so I can't remember.
Also, so appropriately titled Born Again, isn't it? This is like the 4th relaunch of Daredevil, like, right? Like, I mean, I know it's like it's been the same cast, but I feel like this whole, because it was like Netflix and then became Disney and then there's been like so many iterations of this property, right?
I feel like they're gonna do a nice kind of blend between what we saw in She-Hulk and No Way Home, and I think they're gonna bring some of this together and still give it that it's a weird thing to say about Disney Plus, to give it that Netflix feel.
Yeah.
Uh, right? Because I do think this is also a rated R show.
Okay.
Well, it's gotta be, right? Daredevil. You
It's
gotta...
right, and
Well,
you have
and that-
Punisher in it. He's back.
Isn't that what Jessica Jones and Daredevil were on Netflix? Weren't they? They were adult shows, were they not?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Yeah,
definitely
they were
were.
considered. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely were. Luke Cage was as well. And that's someone else who
Yeah.
I'd love to see come back. The first season was awesome. But no, I'm very excited for this one. I just want more. I want more Daredevil in my life. That's all. It actually, when this trailer came up again, I was like, oh, I'm gonna read some Daredevil comics. It got me totally jonesing for that. This is another TV series that I'm also very excited for, because one, I think I have a crush on Catherine Hahn. I love her in Into the Spider-Verse
Yeah.
as Olivia Octavius.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that character so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And I loved her so much in
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exciting to me. And she's got probably one of the coolest songs to ever come out of Marvel. Period.
Yeah. That was the that Music of Marvel panel, like Ed mentioned. That's part of the reason why I was so excited for it, is that songwriting team, the husband and wife, they wrote Agatha all along. And so they came out and they were talking about that whole thing.
Yeah. I remember watching WandaVision for the first time, and then we all kind of knew, like, once we knew, it's like, oh, it's Agatha Harkness. And I was kind of like, oh, I wonder if that's actually supposed to be Agatha Harkness. Because again, they gave her the Agatha Harkness kind of looks like Aunt May in the comics. Like, it almost be
older.
sisters. Yeah.
Aunt May's older sister.
And now it's just like, oh my goodness.
Can only have hots. Only hots in the MCU.
That's it, apparently. And so I remember when that whole reveal started and they did like Agatha all along, and it comes down like the Munsters
Yeah.
like opening, and then it's going through all the stuff, and just the jingle felt very like 60s as well. And I remember first seeing it for the first time, and I was like, what? And it's one of those cases again where I caught myself not realizing that I started standing up from the couch.
Yeah.
And just like, this is so cool. But I'm very excited for this series. The trailer and stuff that came out a couple weeks ago.
What
Also
does this
just looks
mean
super
for
awesome.
the main story, though?
Probably nothing.
Because she's trapped in WandaVision, she's like trapped in like the little town, right? Like, theoretically, if she was released, that poses an issue for the rest of the story, like the rest of the cast, right? Is this just like its own little contained bubble?
It might be a prequel. It
Yeah.
might be like
Well, because I mean, WandaVision famously did so much work that then was just sort of turned right around with Doctor Strange, right? I think that was the thing that frustrated me the most about Doctor Strange, is that I had gone from all of this, like this incredible WandaVision show and this character building and all, to then just have her sort of tossed away as this villain
watered
in this
down
movie.
Dark
Yes.
Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now there is a toe tag in the trailer that looks like it's supposed to be Wanda's. So
Wait, is
I
she
think
dead? I guess she is, right? Is that
Well,
how that
apparently-
movie ends? Does she die?
not Mary Kate, Elizabeth Olsen. I gotta get my
Go through.
Olsen's correct.
Got to go through them all. Mary
Yeah.
Kate,
Gotta go through them all.
Ashley,
Mary Kate,
Elizabeth.
Ashley, Elizabeth, Lizzie Olsen. She said in an interview, she's like, "Well, Scarlet Witch is dead," and everyone went, "What?" So, because it didn't come across to
Everyone
me that she
forgot
died
how
at
that
all.
movie ended.
Yeah.
Right, because
Yeah.
she gives up, right? She's like summoning something and then she gives up. Like, she has a change of heart, right? Is that how that went?
Does she
now
get
I gotta
torn
rewatch
apart
that
by
too.
demons? Like,
Yeah,
I-
well, yeah, because she's like
I
trying to
don't-
control them or something, and then she's like,
never-
Doctor Strange is like, those children won't be your real children, and you really gonna take their mother away from them? And she was like, you're right.
Yeah.
And she gives up.
Do they
Yeah,
play? Because
okay.
there's two Wandas. Like there's like there's like the alternate reality Wanda where she does have the kids are her kids.
Yeah.
And does she defeat the evil Wanda? Like I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
confusing.
I don't know.
I think
but I'm
Agatha
really
Yeah.
all
hoping that
along
there
is just
is a.
it's just gonna do its own thing. It's gonna be like we're gonna talk about the
It's witchy, yeah.
witches in the Marvel universe. It's gonna live over here. Like maybe it'll come into Doctor Strange stuff. Maybe it won't. Like she becomes the Fantastic Four's nanny. Like that was sort of her main role in the Marvel comics. So you know,
Yep.
maybe they're setting that up. I think that could be fun. Like, you know, Catherine Hahn in those Fantastic Four movies. Like, why not?
How about this? Do we think that now, not knowing what the fate of Scarlet Witch is, could she come back at the end of this series as a big reveal?
Why
Ooh.
not? Why
Everyone,
not?
don't talk at
Let her come back.
Sure.
But-
Okay.
But it'll probably
I
be
would-
like
I would prefer
some
something
alternate
like
reality one. You know, it's like it's the multiverse, right? So
that.
Yeah.
Right.
This,
I believe
this
this is
show
like-
looks really good. Like aside from it having to connect in any single way to the cinematic universe, it just looks like a weird, creepy witch show. And I just am excited about that just based on cast and look, even if it
Yeah,
wasn't.
Aubrey Plaza's in it.
I know, there she is on the very, very end there. They all came out and they were singing their witch song. It was awesome. It was, and Aubrey Plaza was deadpan the whole time. Classic Plaza, just staring out at everybody singing her witch song, and she was screaming. It was awesome.
because here's the thing, Marvel needs to plant their flag in Halloween. Like Halloween has become a lucrative lifestyle now, like year-long Halloween. Everyone's
Yeah.
getting in on Halloween.
The
Marvel's gotta, you know, I know they've got Werewolf by Night and you know, Man Thing. Like they've tested the waters, but I feel like this is like they're like, all right, this is like Halloween Town, Jack Skellington, Marvel Universe. Here we go.
It's
And I'm there for it. I'm here for it.
This definitely takes place in the small town because I forgot about this as well from WandaVision. This is Kitty from that 70s show.
Yeah.
Who is in it. So, and she was in WandaVision as well as one of those characters.
Right.
So she's going to join the Covenant as well, which I think is, I'm down.
Maybe she's been someone else all along. Maybe,
Oh my gosh.
maybe Agatha wasn't the only witch spy in that town.
It could be one of those Spook Centrals, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
Paranormal Hub.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be one of those. Hang on. We're going to go to the net. I was going to, because we're already we're well past an hour again. We do this every week now. Forget it. It's now a 2-hour show officially.
Deal with it.
Deal with it. I think this might fall under Park News, Brandon. I'm not sure. At one point, one of our favorite Canadian mutants, Deadpool, he shows up as well, and he kind of crashes the party.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think this is them getting their value out of building a Deadpool suit for a cast member.
Because he's been in Disneyland.
California Adventure.
Oh yes, and also the Paris Disney.
Yes, the Avengers
as well.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah,
Him and Wolverine have been seen around the park.
Yes,
I've been getting lots of videos of them.
I saw them.
Yeah.
I watched them perform the story of Beauty and the Beast or Beauty Pool and the Wolverbeast. Story time with Deadpool. It was awesome.
They've locked into a solid Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis dynamic for the modern day.
They totally have.
Does he have chimichangas in his holsters?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, guns are a big no-nos.
And they are selling a chimichanga at the Pim's Test Kitchen in Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this was a
Uh,
great part of the show because he just came out and he took over, and he was making fun of the parks and like doing his classic Deadpool thing. So in a room of 12,000 Disney parks fans and Disney fans, it was incredible.
This is okay. So I was wondering what this actually was because I was like, maybe they're putting Deadpool in the park permanently and not just a.
Yeah, they're doing Deadpool overlays on every single attraction.
Oh my god!
And so this is like Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, no, that I'm just kidding.
Oh no, really?
Dude, if
Because that's a good idea.
It is a great
People would
idea. If
flock.
they,
Yeah. to
Yeah.
come see that.
we would flock.
Yeah.
We would
I'd
have
fly
to
down
go.
for that.
We would have to. Yeah, we would have to take a class trip.
Could you imagine the
And
like
go.
Millennium Falcon ride with Deadpool?
Yeah.
You know, crashing the party.
Even just like having Deadpool dressed up as Ray,
Yeah.
Walking around,
like
yeah.
walking
that too,
around,
yeah.
like I would be totally for it. I think that would be
Yeah,
so
so-
much fun.
This was just, I think, this was just a comedy bit. He just came out and he was pitching all these things, and this was my favorite one because he's making fun of the Maleficent dragon catching fire and burning up in Phantasmic, as well as the parade dragon in Disney World catching fire.
Sick.
That's
Bring it back.
so good.
Bring it
Bring
back.
it back. Right? Oh, okay.
Was it
We're getting into
actually was
park
it the Deadpool walk around character or was it like Ryan Reynolds?
No, it was the Deadpool walk around
okay.
character. The voice is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty
is-
good though. I've seen clips of him, especially when
Oh.
he's reading the book.
Yes.
He's got the cadence down.
Yeah, there's certain words that he says. Even the Wolverine cast member, like there's certain words that they say that just must be like trigger words, and they sound exactly. I noticed a little thing too, like when Ryan Reynolds Deadpool points, he like curves his finger. Have you ever noticed that?
He does like a little overextend.
Yes, it's an overextension on everything that he points to, and his finger curves. And I was just noticing that the park Deadpool was doing the same thing. It's a very strange,
Wow.
Ooh.
but yeah, he was great. It's very funny.
All right. We're getting into the park news. Brandon, this is where you excel as a Disney adult, which, by the way,
Yeah.
we also got called out saying that's an awful idea. And Disney adults would
Boo.
riot.
Let them.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
Wanna
Clip.
see it.
Inside baseball, Ryan, before Alex and Alice got on, Ryan and I were complaining about how the Nightmare Before Christmas Haunted Mansion layover is still on the Haunted Mansion.
I'm not even at the
Sacrilege.
park. I got no skin in this game.
Yeah,
And I'm still just like, ugh. I'm mad for everyone there. I love Haunted Mansion, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite rides. And speaking of what would be my favorite ride if they didn't put it in Shanghai,
Shanghai.
this is but now I have to go to Shanghai. That's what this means.
Clearly.
That's all this
Yeah.
means.
in
This
2
is
years.
they're doing a Spider-Man roller coaster.
Yeah,
Which is crazy
Cool.
to me, because depending on who they use, so if this is Tom Holland, if they use his costume, then they still have to get the Sony rights to do it because they're filming him. So I'm super curious to which Spider-Man this is, but also this is very cool and exciting to me. This seems like just an upgraded version of the Spider-Man ride that's in Universal at the
in
moment.
Florida, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, this is cool. I
Yeah.
love it.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
a roller coaster with lots of special effects and looks like a screen of some sort.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a roller coaster. It's not. Same with this one here, right?
Yeah.
They should just
Okay.
have
This is
a
the Hong Kong-
Spider-Man
Hong Kong
dummy
one,
like
yeah.
pelt the roller coaster.
Well, I was
You're
thinking that.
going
Yeah.
along, you're
No,
supposed to
that
hit this
robot.
dummy on a rope.
Permanently on the front of the roller coaster should be like a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's how it ends. It
Yeah.
ends with him.
Oh
yeah.
my
He
God.
saves your life.
That's sick.
That would be amazing. I would love that.
I hope they're watching this. Oh, Doc Ock. So I was gonna say
Yeah,
you can't have a
this one's-
Spider-Man ride without Doc Ock.
Yeah,
Like,
this one's Hong Kong Disneyland.
okay.
Guess I'm
And
going to Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, it looks like a drop ride or something.
Oh.
Yeah, this might be their like Tower of Terror.
Yeah, there
Like-
wasn't a lot of details on these. They kind of just showed these concept art for Shanghai and Hong Kong and just said Spider-Man's coming.
Okay, we'll just agree.
And then now we're in California. This is
Yeah.
California Adventure in
Okay.
Anaheim.
Oh, that's
And
what that.
this is-
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Avengers Campus in Anaheim, which have you all been to it?
No,
I-
Alice,
I've
you did not go
I've-
when you went with Britt a couple years ago.
I've never been to California.
What?
Really?
Wait, really?
You went to Florida because right,
I went
local
to
Florida
Florida.
woman.
So you've never been
Yeah.
to Disneyland?
No, I mean Disney World was my first. Like that was my first theme park. I think I went to Hong Kong when I was like 3 or something.
Yeah.
But like yeah. So
Oh wow.
I gotta get down there sometime.
Oh my
Okay.
God, we're going
Wow.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah, land
Right
is
after
a different
the plane.
vibe. Land is
Yeah.
its own flavor.
Oh my God,
For
what are we
sure.
doing here? We should be in California.
Get on the Incredibles roller coaster, formerly the California Scream. That's
Yeah,
like one of the
Incredicoaster.
coolest roller coasters. It just rockets you into it from the
Yeah.
ground.
Oh my gosh,
It's sick.
Alice, we got to figure this shit out.
Yeah, you
But
got
yeah. Well, aren't they opening another? Is that in California as well? A new Universal park?
No,
with
that's
the-
Florida as well.
That's Florida
That's
as
also
well.
Florida.
Epic-
Well, I guess we'll have to
Epic
stop by both.
Universe.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
really excited because they have the the dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
Because that
Isle
has
of
been
Burke.
in Shanghai for ages,
Mm.
and they're finally bringing it over to the U.S. and it
Well,
looks awesome.
We'll talk more about the Marvel theme park news, but briefly, Alice, I'll let you know that the announcements for Magic Kingdom in Florida were a new Cars ride, a new there was something I'm missing it, but the big announcement was a Villains Land. They're building a whole land just
Ooh.
around the villains in
I like that.
in Florida. So that'll be.
I
coming.
hope they have like
I
real
have
like
to go to that.
pickpockets and like everything costs
Yeah,
way
it's all-
more.
yeah.
It's, like
You get
dangerous.
cursed. You get cursed.
get
They
mugged.
do sell poison.
Yeah.
The poison apples
Yeah.
are actually poison,
Yeah.
and your one true love actually has to kiss you to wake you up. So you
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
hope to God.
and because you bought park tickets and are a Disney Plus subscriber, they're completely allowed to get away with anything.
Yeah,
that's
you have to
right.
sign a waiver. It's like one of those like messed up
No, signing
haunted houses.
apparently signing up for your Disney Plus account is your waiver.
Yep.
Are you talking about
We-
the death suit
Yes.
that just
Yes.
just happened? Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Do you
That
know
is
about this, Alex?
insane. Alex, we will fill you in after. Chat,
Yeah,
I am
what?
sorry. We are totally. Yeah,
We're
sorry.
so sorry.
Let's just talk about it now. We're just gonna say it. Someone died from allergies. They
Yeah.
so, they
After
said like, oh hey,
Being like
At
you're
Disney.
allergic. Yeah,
Disney
yeah.
Springs. So the mall
Yeah.
that Disney owns outside of the park.
yes,
Okay.
Somebody died from a dairy and nut allergy
Mhm.
after
Mhm.
expressing to the people, I have a nut allergy. They died later that day for anaphylaxis.
Yeah.
And so then the family was obviously going after Disney and Disney's lawyer's response to that was, you signed up for a Disney Plus free subscription, which absolves you from being able to sue the company.
Oh my god. You gotta
It
you
says
gotta read
something
that
about,
fine
like,
print.
yeah, because you signed up for this, you are agreeing to private arbitration of any sort of conflict. It's like
Jesus
the
Christ.
weirdest
So
thing
that
to
thing
go
none of
after.
us read that we
Yes.
just agree to every time you have to update your Disney Plus thing
Yep.
means that you can't take any legal action against
Action against
Disney
them.
for whatever reason.
Yes.
And-
Yeah.
But the thing
Yeah.
is online lawyers, like people who are lawyers and have like, YouTube accounts or whatever, saying like that's not how that works. Like they can't just sign it, like make you sign an all around agreement that like
Yeah, it's
anything they
really
do
weird.
is like You can't do that. Like they can say, "Oh, we wrote it," but like no proper judge is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that absolves you of any kind of criminal
Yes.
like
Yeah.
negligence," you know.
Yes, I got
Yeah.
to murder you. See, I have it in writing.
And then
Yeah.
the other aspect of it is the family was suing for $50,000. That's it.
Wow.
That's
That's chump
pennies.
change. Just pay
Pennies.
them.
In
Dude.
terms of Disney, but now they have all this bad PR.
Yeah.
So,
Iger wipes
they
his butt
should.
with that much money,
yeah.
right? He just could dump out a pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they
office.
offered like Robert Downey Jr. like $100 million to play Doctor Doom. Like this is nothing.
Yeah, that's super. That's super.
Was
messed
that
up.
really what they offered him?
That's what I heard. I know there's no confirmed amount, like they're not allowed to say, but
Right.
someone said that that at first he wasn't sure if he wanted to take the role or something, and they had to negotiate for it. So it was
I could
pretty
see
high.
why.
Worth every penny. They
Yeah.
I hope they paid him in Latveria. They just gave him. They created Latveria. It's coming to the Disney park. Robert Downey Jr. will actually be the sovereign of that part of the park. It's part of his contract.
Oh my gosh. Okay, speaking of that part of the park, this is our new entrance to the Infinity Transport.
Yeah, so this is all in Avengers Campus, formerly built on the lands of a Bug's Life land, and
R.I.P.
the Hollywood Tower of Terror has become the Guardians ride years ago, and then they built this whole land with a Spider-Man attraction. I'm not going to call it a ride because it's a video game in a car where you shoot webs.
Your arms get sore.
Good food. I do like the food. They have a Pim's test kitchen, so it's this whole area related to the Avengers and the MCU. And they built this big building with a I'm blanking on the name. The Quinjet. They built this whole building with a Quinjet on top. And what they do currently is a bunch of Avengers come out and they do a little show. But last year, they opened up a gift shop inside this building. This building has big doors on the front. And it was always like, what is this building? Well, then they announced that there's going to be more. They just couldn't get that completed. This is what is supposed to be behind and quote unquote inside this building that they built. It's the expanded, continued, complete version of Avengers Campus. And one is going to be an Avengers Infinity. I think I sent you a photo, Ryan. It's called Infinity Defense. And it's going to be, you are brought in by the Avengers to fight King Thanos. And
Oh, wow.
They're gonna really bring these kids in
yeah,
to fight King
They're our
Thanos.
last
Yeah.
hope.
All the adults have died, kids.
yeah,
You're next.
exactly. And they can get away with it because they're all Disney Plus subscribers. So it's A-okay.
Yeah.
It's
Good
like,
luck trying to sue us.
Get out.
Right, there's actually a kiosk outside for a free trial to Disney Plus if you're not already a subscriber. So you
That's
got all the bases covered.
They're like, would you like some Disney Plus? Not for any nefarious reason. No. Just-
Yeah.
No. So this used to be called something else, right? And I think they're trying to steer it away from the or at least not advertise it as a multiverse attraction.
Yeah, I think there was a change in King Thanos being involved because it was originally pitched as this multiverse ride, but now it's kind of focused on defeating Thanos.
Right.
But that's all we know. The only other thing that was sort of revealed was an official model of the ride vehicle, and it's kind of a carriage with an open top. And my assumption is I think it's going to be similar to there's a Transformers ride at Universal Studio that moves around in physical space, and then you sort of stop in front of a screen, and then there's like small interactive bits with water and fire and smoke, and then it'll move past a real physical not an animatronic per se, but like a physical model of a character to another screen. It is a good ride, and it's like the bare minimum, in my opinion, of a screen to physical object that I'm happy with. When it's all
Yeah.
screens, I just like the Spider-Man ride. It's
Yeah,
a game. It's a
Spider-Man.
video game, and it's
Mhm.
like not. It's not a
It
ride.
broke
Like
halfway through my ride. And they were like, too bad, you got a broken one. We were like, do
Yeah.
we get to go again? They're like, nope. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah.
Good
So-
luck trying to sue us.
What about the Harry Potter ride where you're on the
Oh,
broom?
See, that's a
in the
great one.
Hogwarts?
Because you go from physical sets with
Yeah.
the Whomping Willow moving, physical sets of the Dementors coming in at you, spiders falling, they're all real
Yeah.
things, to then in between you're in front of a screen and it's a motion video ride. I think like that's a good combination of both.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if it's like that, I'm happy, right?
Yeah,
But if
that's
it's
what I would
just-
hope it's like. Although that ride almost made me throw up because you're starting to spin.
Yeah.
And then I remember the hot air blowing down
Yeah.
from this drag. I was like, oh, that did not mix.
Yeah. A lot of people get motion sickness on that ride because you're in this sort of box and it is blowing air on you,
Yes.
and then you're kind of going all the way back sometimes, and you're kind of
I loved
flying
that,
all the way
though.
around.
See, that was
I
fine. I was
like,
actually,
yeah.
I was totally fine until the hot air came
the
down,
dragon.
and then I was like, oh no, 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 no.
You gotta get your wizard legs.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's about to see a bunch of chocolate frogs right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, that butter beer ain't sitting well.
Yeah. Ugh.
The other thing that they announced for this Avengers Campus is actually a ride I think is very similar to the ride system that the Harry Potter Forbidden Journey ride is.
Is that
Oh, that's the pod there.
okay?
That
Th-
previous photo.
this one here.
Yes.
Okay.
Honey,
So you
I
can see
Shrunk
it's-
the Audience.
Yeah. Oh, bring that back.
Yeah.
Yep.
That theater's sitting empty right now. It has been for years.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't got the rats that like run under your legs?
Yeah. After they shut down Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, they brought back Captain EO for a little bit after Michael Jackson died. And then they took that away for obvious reasons. And they've never done anything. Actually, I think periodically they were putting trailers. So when Last Jedi would come out, you could go in there and watch a trailer for Last Jedi.
That's an easy Ant-Man reskin.
Yes.
There he is.
Wrong area though. But yeah, so I imagine these are all going to be screens.
Yeah.
Yep. Unless they really make when he crashes through, it's a real giant man head. I'd be down.
Yeah. And that's the kind of the stuff that the Transformers ride does is you go
Yes.
from a screen and it's Megatron, and then you defeat Megatron, and then you leave the screen and there's a giant crashed Megatron with
Yeah,
his eyes like
Like
flickering
blinking.
above
Yeah.
you, right? It's awesome.
I
know
thought
another-
the
Oh, go
King
ahead.
Kong ride they did at one point was cool, and that was like a big screen, the Universal King Kong. But because you could like kind of see the other tram, like it had like, and it was they're 3D, right? Like they always have like kind of a 3D component. Like
Yeah.
I just think you have to work really hard to make it like magical.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Well,
a.
and
Hang on, just I was really want to point out there's another good ride at Disney that does that whole like screen to something practical, and that's the Mickey Mouse Runaway.
Runaway Railway, yes.
Yeah,
That's
that one.
That's a really great ride. And if this Avengers ride is anything like the Mickey's Runaway Railway, it's going to be an awesome ride.
Yeah, I hope it is. Hang on, I just want to bring up this one piece of from the chat.
Oh, sick!
Alex, I hope you see this. I couldn't resist my first Mondo D23 Rogue, all from watching you and Doell here.
Oh,
Nick-
nice. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, dude. That's a great rogue, by the way.
Yeah, I
Great
walked
figure.
by the display and I was looking at them all, but that line was a little long for me at the Loungefly booth.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm stoked with how that rogue came out.
There's our King Thanos, I assume.
Yep.
Thanos.
And then this is the second ride that they're putting in. And this is the one that I was saying kind of seems like the same sort of technology as that Harry Potter. But I think it's only 2 people. And this concept, I think there's a photo I sent you with the name of it. They call it like Stark Sky Lab or Sky Flight or something like that.
Okay.
But it's essentially, it doesn't really have any aspect to it other than like a little thrill ride. It doesn't seem to have any sort of screens. It's kind of like a Disney level, fair ride.
It looks like you might be able to control where you're looking because the seats are all in different directions.
I think it'll be programmed because they said that you'll kind of like ride around and then the robot arm will pick you up and kind of fly you around.
Gotcha.
They are
so
really making use of that Disney Plus get out of jail free card.
They're like, hold very still while we pick you up.
This robot arm is going to fling you around Tony Stark's office.
This looks wild though. This also looks like motion sickness in a can.
Stark Flight Lab, yes. But
Yeah,
it kind of just appears like a PNE fair ride with a Marvel skin on it.
like California Soarin'.
No, but that's inside, right? Like this is just like this weird outside.
Oh,
It's
people
outside?
people flying around. I don't think it from the video that we saw, it doesn't seem like it's inside, but I could be wrong.
Okay, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Though I would love a Soarin', which is the Marvel universe, where you fly past the Baxter Building,
yeah.
and the Daily Bugle, and the
And the
expansion.
multiverse. You just
Then
start
you
to go through that Doctor Strange thing, or it's like Paint World.
See, I don't even think they need to do multiverse. I think the Marvel universe is like enough where you could just go through Wakanda.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Right. You could
just like Wakanda Soarin' would be fun.
Yeah, think of all the smells that they could pump in.
Yeah, web fluid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Rhino.
the Hulk in general, he probably smells.
Yeah, just smelly dudes, just smelly buff dudes. That's all it is.
I think they need to add that in. I think it's actually already there.
You do not want to get close to Fing Fang Foom.
Yeah,
The sulfur.
Yeah, well, the dragon wears a diaper. I think people forget about.
Yeah, so you can see. So you can. It's hard to tell in this art, but it's just like, see, they're just all sitting around getting flung around.
You're just around the park, but people are just watching you spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like. It's not like Haunted Mansion where there's a whole bunch of like omni-movers moving, but you're in a ride. It's just like out and about getting tossed around.
Where's the magic?
Yeah.
It's just
I will say I went on the People Mover in I think that's Disney
World. Yeah.
At the Tomorrowland section, and I actually really loved it. We went because there was no one lining up, and at first I was like, oh, you just kind of go in a little tram in a little circle or whatever, but you like go into the rides and you can see like the things that are happening in the background, and like you get a great view of the castle. So if they do like a really interesting path, then maybe it could be like a nice little like, oh, we need a break kind of ride, but I don't know how the park looks.
This is taking People Moving to a whole new level.
Yeah, people tossing.
People tosser. The people
tosser. Well, I can't let you be bored.
Yeah. But that's like, I would love if they did a dark ride like Haunted Mansion of the Sanctum Centaurium.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right? Cool. Or the X Mansion.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope eventually they'll do like a Baxter Building with just all of the different labs, and like I also would love for them to do like a raft or like Triskelion where you've got like super villain holding cells and you go on a tour through like, and it's like, there's like the lizard behind the glass and then like Sandman's escaped and like, the alarms are going off and there's like
that's kind of the
actors.
concept of the Guardians of the Galaxy mission Breakout, but it's kind of, that's the collector's collection, but things are escaping.
I want the villains of the Marvel universe.
You want a nice dark ride.
Yeah, nice dark ride. Yeah, and and they could like when like a villain like takes place in a movie, like when he's the main villain, like they take him out of the ride because he's in the movie.
They
and then
could
if he
do
gets
some
caught in the movie, they add him to the
crazy
ride.
levels of coordination. Whoa.
Yeah.
I would love if they did even threw in characters like Purple Man, and just make things just like super scary. Like I think it would be. Well, they'll never go super scary.
You start getting like hypnotized, or your tour guide. You have like a Jungle Cruise style tour guide who's doing like funny puns and stuff, and he gets like taken over by the Purple Man, and he like brings you to like he makes him bring you to some place that you're not supposed to be. And like this is a ride.
You could do a lot. Yeah, throw Abomination in there.
Hire Alex.
Yeah,
someone.
Yeah,
make it happen.
And then you get rescued by She-Hulk just because I want more She-Hulk.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, there's
there's like a test.
Yeah, I sent you the next photo is because this was all part. Yeah, so this is them testing it. That's Bob Iger and Robert Downey Jr.
See, folks, it's safe.
Even rich people ride it.
This was how they got Robert Downey Jr. to do Dr. Doom, as Bob Iger got off at the last second, and they were like, "All right, we'll stop the ride if you agree to do this movie."
Yeah. They're like, billionaires have never ridden anything unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
They are really strapped in there.
I'm realizing now that I think part of the concept of this ride, because the Avengers Campus is built on an old Stark military base that they've kind of repurposed. So this might be like a technology test of sorts, but it just ultimately in the end, it's just a people disperser.
I love all these new rides. The people tosser, the people disperser, people thrower,
the brain shaker.
Yeah. Right. Is this the new Avengers Campus, what it's going to look like?
Yes. So if maybe you can zoom in a little bit.
Let's see.
So Spider-Man is swinging off of the what is it called?
Parker.
The web or the Institute, whatever.
Right.
I can't remember.
That's Pavilion.
The Parker Pavilion.
But that's where the web slingers ride happens.
Right.
And then you can see straight across the tall tower, that's the existing Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then just to the right of that is what exists already, that building with the Quinjet on top of it.
Right.
So the blue, sort of the lighter blue area, that seems to be the entrance to that Infinity Defense ride.
Ooh, okay.
And then just to the right, you can see all those little red dots. That's that Stark Flight ride. So that's what makes me think it's like the People Tosser. That's what makes me think it's kind of outside. It looks like it's kind of covered with like a glass kind of sunroof type thing.
Right.
But
it's been raining a lot lately.
Exposed outdoor People Tosser.
Just goes in a circle.
It just goes in, yeah. Well, this is cool. I'm glad that they're expanding it, but they're not leaving any room for X-Men, and that's making me mad.
Just tear down that crummy old Tower of Terror and put in an X-Men.
Jeez, the greatest villain to Disney adults here on the top.
Just put Wolverine at the bottom. They'll be happy. Like,
to be honest, like, people love the Guardians ride, but people really loved the Tower of Terror, so they could quite literally do anything with it, and I don't think people would care that much.
Yeah, it's already been
damaged in a lot of people's minds.
Right. You already ruined it once. You might as well ruin it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just leaving money on the table. And then just some more Deadpool.
Yeah, and then Deadpool came out, and there was
Hold
some American Idol singer singing "Like a Prayer."
Let's just enjoy this for a moment.
But
Yeah.
this artwork was just so good. I kept snapping photos. I was like, all of this needs to be merch. Every single one of these images is incredible. This all needs to be park merch in a set of coasters, t-shirts, prints, or something, because it was all so funny.
They should do animated shorts. Like
Yes, that's actually what my
Mm.
dad suggested. He thought they were so funny. He's like, they could just be little 2-minute shorts or whatever. But yeah, in this
Yeah.
art style, Deadpool, ragging on the park, that'd be awesome.
That's what they should do, a Deadpool animated series that looks like Deadpool made it himself. And it's like
Yeah.
this crossed with like the Wacky Deli episode of Rocko's Modern Life, where it's just like a complete amateur effort trying to make a cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm
If
all
you guys
for it.
haven't seen, I'm guessing by the silence, you guys have not seen the Wacky Deli.
Yeah, I'm like,
No.
Rocko's
that
Modern
you
Life.
are deep
It
cutting.
is-
Like
It is a must watch. After this, gotta watch it.
Look it up.
Yeah, first listen to
Okay.
the Fantastic Four music, then go into that. We just
No,
we just
first
dropped
listen.
like I just
It-
zoomed in on this. We lost like 10 viewers.
We'll get him back with Wacky Deli. Cone Killer
Yeah.
Confuser, you know what's up.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question here from Quip. This looks like DCA. Are there any plans also for Walt Disney World?
Yeah, like I had mentioned, the Villains Land is coming to Walt Disney World. A Cars ride is coming to Walt Disney World, and there is something else I'm forgetting it, but Walt Disney World doesn't
Indiana
have
Jones.
an Avengers. Oh, that's what it is. Yes, Indiana Jones and a Encanto ride, because they're retheming that whole dinosaur land in Florida. But
Isn't there a
Walt-
Coco one as well?
that's coming to DCA.
Oh, okay.
They're going to do a Coco ride in California Adventure, but Walt Disney World doesn't have an Avengers area because Marvel characters exist at Universal in Florida. So if you
Right.
want to visit Marvel characters, you got to go to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, and that's where you can visit the comic book versions of those characters.
Yeah, I got a picture with Rogue and Storm last time I went. It was a pretty big deal.
Damn.
I got a picture with Spider-Man, so evens.
That's a pretty big
evens.
deal too. Yeah, that's right. That's equal. Are we getting Lady Deadpool in the parks?
I don't know. They spent the money on this costume, and there was no context other than she came out with Dogpool, and they danced around for a little bit, and she went out. So
I don't think that's a real dog.
no, it's not. It was like leather dog.
They should have one of those robots, those like animatronics that walk around now as a dog pool. They have the technology.
They should have it so it's a photo op area.
Yeah. It was one of those things that it was so exciting, and then while it was happening, I'm like, what does this mean? They spent the money on this suit. What does it mean? Is Lady Deadpool coming out to the park? Like, it just,
The whole pool family.
yes.
I can see
Welsh
it happening. They should do it.
Nice pool.
I think they think Deadpool is the next cash cow. Like, I think they're going in for it.
Cow
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah. cash pool.
Yeah. It's just a wad of
I love
bills
money
with the
with
red
cash.
costume.
Yeah.
All right.
Though that's I would be all for that. If it's gonna bring me more X-Men to the park, I was really hoping, because X-Men 97 did so well, I was kind of hoping they were just gonna like, here's Gambit.
Yeah. We need
Yeah, no.
mansion. We need X Mansion. We need Baxter Building. You know, they need to spruce up this campus. You know,
Yeah.
campus, but like
Yeah.
mansion building, I'm in.
I kind of wish it's too bad that the whole deal with Florida is the way it is, because I would take a whole land that is Marvel.
Yeah.
like just a Marvel land. Like just give
Yeah.
it to me like that way.
Yeah.
So
Like
this is-
Animal
this is my
Kingdom, but Marvel.
yes,
Marvel
yes,
Kingdom.
the Marvel Kingdom. That's it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my last question before we wrap up. And I want to kind of roundtable this. This is something that's been kind of on my mind when I was doing Toy Anxiety. They all kind of went, "No, that's just San Diego Comic-Con," and no, it's not. I would love to see Marvel Celebration the same way we get Star Wars Celebration, where it's just like here's a ton of panels from like just like what they kind of did here, where it's like we're going to show you all the new stuff. Here's an animation panel. Here's your toy panel. Here's your your comic book panels, because they did have comic book panels there. They did a 50th anniversary of Wolverine panel with Jason Aaron at D23 as well, which is Marvel actually put online, so you can watch that whole panel on the Marvel YouTube channel. So be sure to, it's just a run through of them just kind of going through Wolverine's history, but it's still interesting. It's fun, and they could do all this stuff, have the actors there, have a massive artist alley, right? They could do, and you not only just have like your actors there, you could have all your voice actors there, and not just the ones from the current stuff. You could have the ones from the 90s, from the 2000s, like all this stuff. You could do so much with it, I feel. And you could still have like props and costumes on display the same way they do with Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Marvel one. And in fact, I would love to see a DC one, because even though they do all this stuff at D23 at San Diego Comic-Con, I still feel like a lot of it gets lost with so much other big announcements.
Yeah.
That's the focus. That's what I want. Alex, I'm going to start with you. Is this something you would love to see with like from Marvel, like, and DC?
Yes, because
All right, let's
I
do it.
mean, it's not Comic-Con what you're describing, but having like, I mean, maybe they could do like a Marvel day and a DC day, like, but no, to your point, like DC, it felt like in terms of the movies, in terms of James Gunn, like kind of light offering, probably because they were anticipating like Marvel was going to show up like they did. So yeah, I can definitely see that, there's enough excitement around both cinematic universes now, both, and that, has a ripple effect to all other aspects. Like, yeah, both could probably sustain their own dedicated celebration events.
Yeah.
So, and we can stoke that Marvel versus DC rivalry again. It's like, what are you reading? Hulk could totally kick Superman's butt.
I would love that. What are you reading? Yeah, I like that. I'm all for that. But Alice, is that anything you'd be interested in ever actually attending?
Yeah, no, I feel like for me, the downsides to really, really big conventions, because there's a lot of upsides to really big conventions being that they get actors and they get panels that you wouldn't otherwise see in smaller ones, is that there's so much to do. And for me, like, if I do a couple panels, like I'm getting tired. I'm starting to
Right.
get tired. Like, it's a long day. You're walking the entire time and everything's happening within like a 3 to 4 day period. So personally, if there's a chance for them to kind of split it up so that it's like a separate event, I'm not against that, because it makes it easier to consume. And as a completionist, I always feel really frustrated when I can't do everything, and you cannot do everything at something like San Diego Comic-Con. It's just not possible. And even if you took away all of Marvel, you probably still couldn't do everything. Like, it's a really big convention. And so if they had their own conventions, I feel like it would allow for more of everything, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing.
Right. Yeah. That's where my head process is too, where it's like, it's so big. And even Marvel has so many things going on from comics to television and video games and everything else, that I feel like, and again, Marvel and DC have like decades of entertainment, where, again, even with Marvel, you could bring in like, here's the original cast from X-Men, and people would probably still go like, "Oh my god, the X-Men are here! I get an X-Men photo ops."
And
Like-
if you did like screenings of the the original X-Men cartoon and Spider-Man, like you could watch. I'd watch those in a movie theater on the big screen
for sure. Brandon, you being a big movie dude, is that something that you would? Is it too specific for you, or is that just like?
No,
Or would you do it?
I don't think so. I mean, I think at the very beginning you made like Star Wars has its own convention, but Star Wars also has a presence at D23 and it has a presence at Comic-Con.
Right.
I think it could easily work for both Marvel and DC. And in fact, you bringing up like the comic book side of it, it has more.
It does.
It has more content that it can sort of split up for a convention. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's just, do they want to spend the money on it, right? And you'd have to build it up.
It's weird. I actually don't think they would necessarily have to build it up. I think if they just kicked it off and said, "Hey, we're doing Marvel Celebration. Cast of X-Men 97 is going to be there. Ryan Reynolds is going to be there. Chris Evans is going to be there." I think if you just kicked it off and said, "And Chris Evans is going to be there for photo ops and signatures," I think that would be enough to have people go, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
you can get photos with America's ass."
yeah.
Like,
that's a separate photo op though.
it's a separate photo op.
He does a front and a back.
Yeah, simultaneously.
God, I wonder how many people.
Could you
two
imagine?
different
You're like-
lines from two different directions. Like,
Yeah, you actually
people
pay
coming from a
$50
cheat,
more
like-
for a turnaround shot
Yeah.
of Chris Evans. He'd probably be down for it too. He
God,
seems like such a
that is such a funny photo op. Somebody needs to do like an America's ass photo op, and it's just like in the Captain America suit, like just a blue ass. You come and you pose beside it.
At the convention I was just at, someone in the artist alley had a whole set. There was probably like 15 prints, but it was just the butts of like superheroes. The whole print was just the butt. And I was like, you know what?
Someone
You're
should do
right.
like the vintage trading cards, like from the first Avengers, with like the blood stains on them, but they're all just America's ass.
Yeah.
Different shots of Captain America's butt.
I'm writing down notes, guys. I'm writing down notes.
You know what's funny is you could do the same thing with Rogue.
Yeah. Nightwing, Rogue. These are the famous asses of comics.
Yeah.
Hellboy. Yeah. Just for fun.
Yeah.
That's dark.
There's definitely
horse,
a top
whatever.
10 list. We all know. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I think there's value in that, especially not having to, because not like, let's face it, like one of the biggest hindrances of going to San Diego is the cost of just staying in San Diego during that time. It's not even the convention itself. It's just like, where do you stay?
Yeah.
Where
and
it's like
anything
when you
affordable is a long travel period to get to the show.
Right. Where I feel like when you do something like Star Wars Celebration, it moves around to kind of give everyone that opportunity to.
That's a really good point. And Star Wars Celebration, is it like every 2 years, or it's not every year? Obviously,
They tried doing it every year, and then they realized that we're not making enough content. I don't think to because they kind of have to build up the hype a little bit. So they went like every other year, and then this one every 2 years. So we don't know where it's going to be after Japan. But the fact that they're doing it in Europe and Japan and the States, that kind of gives everyone that kind of opportunity to maybe get autographs or have experiences that, you can't. It's more intimate when you go to Celebration than it would be at San Diego.
And it's more, and also, like all the fans there, they all love the same.
Yeah, the focus.
Thing. Yeah,
the focus is there. Yeah,
I could see them doing it as like a special, like every 2 years we do a celebration, because it's not even a convention, it's a celebration.
Right? Because that's what it would at the end of it all be. And I think it's funny because I've always thought they should have been doing this to lead up to Endgame. Because how insane would it be if they had all the Avengers there for autographs and photo ops leading into, Endgame, I think it would.
It probably would have been too crazy. Like they probably
I don't think they needed it. Like,
yeah.
They didn't. It's not that they need. Well, they didn't need it for episode 1, but the first celebration was before episode 1, the Phantom Menace, and people
Wait,
were
really?
going bonkers.
It goes back that long?
Goes back that long, and then they did
Wow.
another one leading up to episode 2, and then they did the next one leading up to episode 3, and it was like that's how those started, and they got everybody there, like for those movies, and it was kind of like a big giant promotional. Well, that's kind of what it is at the end of the day, right? It's a big promotional
that's what
showcase.
D23 is.
Yes,
It's just a big promotional. There was a small section in the back, which I actually spent a bit of time in, and that was like vintage sellers. So I got some really cool vintage Disney stuff. But other than that, every other booth that was there was Hulu, Disney Plus, FX, Target, Disney Animation, Pandora Jewelry, all these companies that have licenses with Disney.
All our distinguished vendors.
yeah.
Loungefly and Mondo, right? Funko, right? So
Right.
they were all there, selling their Disney product lines. But yeah, it's not a convention. Like it is a convention, but it's more just like this showcase, this celebration of the products, and it.
I assume that Brandon, sorry, real quick. I assume you don't have any of those vintage pickups handy. We could have done like a whole section of this show of showing off.
No, they're already in my Disney case. But one of the things I was very excited to find was matchbooks from Walt Disney Productions. So they're black matchbooks with an orange sort of triangle Walt Disney Studios Productions Mickey Mouse logo on them. That was really cool.
That's cool.
A bunch of pins. I love Disney pins.
Yeah, but it's like, that's Disney smoking paraphernalia.
I know. I was just thinking that you'll never see that again in history.
Well, and part of the reason I got them is last year I got to tour the Walt Disney Studios, and the big part of the reason you do the tour is the history, but you get to go into Walt Disney's office. And years ago, they reassembled his office to the exact way that it was left when he died. And one of the things I loved these matchbooks that were in all of the ashtrays throughout he had 2 offices connected. He had like a main office and a business office, and the business office had ashtrays everywhere with all these black Walt Disney Productions matchbooks in them. And then I found them at D23. They were only like $4. It was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's the smoking that killed them.
Have you noticed them photoshopping out cigarettes from Walt Disney's hands in all the photos he used?
Oh yeah,
dude was a chain smoker.
Famously, he was known for having a cough, and it was his smoker's cough. And he had a system with his assistant that people weren't allowed in his office because he was always having to like put out and hide his cigarettes because he didn't want people to see that he was smoking. But he was a big smoker.
I say they leave it as a cautionary tale. Let the kids know.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know? You end up trying to cryogenically freeze yourself because of all the smoking's killing you.
Yeah.
They used to sell tobacco and cigarettes and pipes on Main Street in Disneyland. It's now the pin store on Main Street. Yeah. I have matchbooks from the tobacco shop in Disneyland too.
Jeez, that's awesome.
Those were the days.
Sweet. All right, let's finish up here. We are past that 2-hour mark by just a little bit. You did great, folks. You did so good. Alex, let's start with you. You got Mondo.
Yeah.
Link is down below. Lion-O.
Yeah, Lion.
What's
Ryan?
happening?
Are you a Thundercats fan at all?
I like it, but I am
dabbled in the Thundercats back in the day.
Back in the day, but I am not doing that now. No way.
Well, so we have a Lion-O 1/6 scale, which is really cool. It's like first time Thundercats in 1/6 scale, and we have our sort of like Mondo take on Lion-O and the Thundercats, and he looks awesome. Like, you know, the idea is to kind of like could kind of like work with some of the Motu stuff that we got. Yeah, there he is in all his glory. We've also got our a Thundercats poster by Sanford Green. You know, that's also available during this window. But yeah,
but there's something else in this window that I think Alice is going to be like, hey, can you send me that too?
oh yeah,
Yes,
this is
I
our
saw they're coming out with the vinyl.
Yeah, the black button variant.
our big drop today. Yeah, the Coraline record. And if you
I'm
can, if you
watching.
click, yeah, if you
I'm
click,
watching the remaster this weekend.
Yeah, the re-release in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love this. So this is a pop up of the pink mansion, the house.
Yeah. The pink
Shout out to
tower.
Jordan Christensen. He does all of our, you know, packaging design and stuff, and he is like such a wizard when it comes to that sort of like craftsmanship. Like, and so he, you know, worked on this and created this this pop-up house effect that's makes it a really special album. I mean, that's like, I have nothing to do with the like music record side of Mondo, but like, it's, if you've never gotten one of our records, like it is like a whole experience.
I wish
like,
I wish I could show you. That's what I collect from Mondo, is I collect the records.
yeah, it's like
It's
a
so
real celebration of the
Yeah.
property.
I got some nice. I got the
Yeah,
over the
so
garden wall,
cool.
but it's like really nice inserts and like the you know, all the packaging and whatever is really
Yeah.
nice.
One of the best Mondo releases, in my opinion, was the Fight Club soundtrack, because it was sealed in an envelope, and you had to rip it open to get the records out, and it was because you have to destroy something beautiful in the movie Fight Club. That was one of the initiations to get into Fight Club, was to destroy something beautiful. So you had to actually rip a pull tab around the record to split it in two halves to get the records out. So cool.
I've been pitching that they do the Seinfeld soundtrack that folds out into a coffee table.
Yeah, like the coffee
but they,
table.
yeah, they won't do it. They won't listen to me.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the other link. I'm like, I got it saved.
Yeah, they just do incredible work all around, from you know, your side of things with the 1/6 scale, which my McCready, I got an email, my McCready from the Thing shipped.
Yeah, I actually have some like McCready sample heads that I got.
Did you sculpt that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but they look awesome. They're like the details, the paint looks great on them.
Yeah,
So
it's supposed to be coming soon. I'm
Yeah,
very excited for it.
Yeah,
That
no, it's gonna be...
the dog thing. That's...
yeah.
But yeah, everything, like I'm surrounded by Mondo posters. I'm a big fan.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
All right, Alice, you're going to be up next.
I'm up next.
You are up next. You have hit a major milestone, and you were trending.
I was, yeah. I don't know what happened. I like came back from my mid-season hiatus. Usually you have a little bit, you know, it takes a little bit to warm back up again because people forget you exist. You know, when you take a 1 month break, people just forget you exist. But I got a little promo from the company on the front page and whatever, and it's doing better than it was when it first came out. So it's very, very exciting.
No, that's a good sign.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's huge. 2.6 million views.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of crazy.
Over 100,000 subscribers. Come on.
Yeah, we hit
right?
the 6 figures.
And a star rating of 9.3. Come on, Alice.
Decent.
Doing amazing. This is all
and
Haven
30
Academy.
episodes, like that, like such a great commitment. Like, you know, so many other comic book series don't go that long.
That's true. A lot don't, and at the same time, it's like your audience is also growing while you do this. And I think this is so awesome. So again, folks, if you have not checked this out yet, this is All Haven Academy. The link is down below in the description. I'm also going to say when you click on it, use your phone. I'm not going to, or your tablet. Don't be doing this on. I know I have it on here because I need to have it on here, but I have it saved on my tablet. So just everyone,
Don't follow Dole's bad boy example.
don't follow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Please read the comic as it was intended on your phone.
It will be much more enjoyable.
Yes, it is, and it's beautiful. And you kicked ass this weekend, right? You set up. Again, I always feel like you did a great job. You're always doing a good job at a convention if you have a booth set up and you made money.
Yeah. I'll be at another one next month. So if anyone's going to SFU Summerfest, I will also be there.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Simon Fraser University. If anyone's in Pacific Northwest and you're going to be heading up for that convention, go check that out.
Yeah. And I'm hoping. I've applied for Fan Expo. We'll see if we get in. Maybe.
Oh, all right, Fan Expo.
Yeah.
When is Fan Expo Vancouver? Is that February again?
February, yeah.
February-ish. Yeah, the Fan Expo is not fun to deal with, but I hope you have better luck than everyone else. So we will find out. Brandon, this is you.
That is me.
Go for it.
Well, I'm BC DeLorean across all social media. If you have any interest in pop culture and movie cars, we show them. We have a large collection of them. We're currently in the process of building the Dumb and Dumber mini bike. That's what we're doing right now.
Awesome.
I haven't seen what state it's in. It just got painted. I think it was just being reassembled at our shop, but I haven't. I've been away. I was at D23 in Disneyland for the last week, so haven't been able to see what progress we're at. We got a 1949 Packard, which is just a big car, but it's actually going to be Doc Brown's car from Back to the Future. So
cool.
we have to paint that and change some things, but then we'll have that's the car that Marty drives Lorraine to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, where then Biff gets handsy and George comes and saves Lorraine. That happens all in that beige colored car. So just always working on projects. But yeah, I'm really excited about thank you. I'm very excited about the Dumb and Dumber bike. That's a really, really fun one.
Look at this.
All right. I know it's not a movie car, but I'm just putting it out there. The new Caped Crusader Batman show has a pretty friggin' awesome Batmobile in it. I would love to see that in real life.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
It's not like you don't have animated vehicles.
No.
Yeah, here we go. This never existed.
Yeah, that was I don't even do I even have a picture on there it is. There,
that's awesome.
With the
That's
roof
so
rocket.
Cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
Do you have little Buzz and Woody in the back hiding in like fast food containers?
I have the fast food containers, but I have a spare Buzz and Woody that I have to chop up to make, because I want to make those versions of Woody in the cup and Buzz in the burger container. But I do have the cup and the burger container. I just haven't gotten around to making those figure versions of them yet.
What's the next event you guys will be at?
I think September. I can't remember the date, but I always post about when we do public events on Facebook and Instagram. But in September, if you're in the BC area, we're going to be in a town called Langley, BC, for a big Pharaoh's car show. Langley is famously where they shot Once Upon a Time, the ABC show, all the Air Bud and Air Buddies movies, and Sonic 2 was shot. Actually, both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, but Sonic 2 was shot a lot in downtown Fort Langley. So there's a big car show that happens down there, and we'll have our American Graffiti collection on display in September.
Wow.
So yeah, we have all the main cars from American Graffiti. It's I think 6, 7 cars and a scooter. Yeah, so we'll have
That's
them all
awesome.
displayed downtown Fort Langley sometime in September. Can't remember the exact date right now, but
All right. Well, we're gonna go. We have decided.
come on down.
All right. And you can find me, Doell, on Toy Anxiety on Tuesdays. And then you can find me also here. Find me occasionally on the Bitter Asian Dude channel on Saturdays, sometimes with Brandon, sometimes not. Majority of the times not, it seems.
I'm busy.
Yeah, well, some people have lives. Some
Got all
people
those
just stream all
cars,
day.
man.
Yeah, I gotta
That's
charge batteries, man.
right. But yeah, that's where you'll find me. Otherwise, we might take next week off. I mean, depending. But I think either way, I think when we do come back, I think we should go through the solicitations and we'll do our top picks of comics that are coming out that have caught our eyes.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be Marvel or DC. It can be whatever. And maybe we'll do something like that. Talk more comics. And you should go buy more comics.
Yeah.
Gail Simone's
Yeah.
X-Men came out. Go buy it.
Yeah. I bought
be
it.
awesome.
I read it. We're going
Nice.
to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it. We got it. All right, everyone, have a good night, and we will